and Pa Usman Joe, Gambian Talents TV. You get me? Man la Bay Musa Seka, aka One Pack Chobu Yala Rof, all he rek nekacha, God's will. Aku yuninde wa picking with the bring Mama Joy Mango, Kanama Bill, Akanama Indi, Gambia Talent Promotion. Big up to Nyoha Bay Show.
Hey yo, Gambian Talents.
Nega geseng yang gonje mamoy godoy julolo fennega geseng yang gonte mamoy fonde ma boy dindin faloli mindi bali dundi sanyoti lole boyda dindin ifulanti yang Gambia Talent Promotion al fulanti yang itolle be jambe nyaato Gambia Talent Promotion mun tolle tati alingi makoy e ka Gambia la londole pous nyaato niamo Gambia Talent Promotion wala mandi ka kangola ka Gambia la londo sama nyaato ay wule ye wala
Hey yo, Gambian Talents. Sen TV bi neex na ñoo. Wow. Sen show yi neex na ñoo. Yeah. Sen TV bi rafet na. Wow. Gambian Talents TV. Ñu dem nañ seetaan Gambian Talents. Hey.
Gambian Talents. Dara du côté Gambian Talents.
Wow. Nah.
Thank you.
Hello, good Hello, good evening and welcome to another edition of the Showbiz in Focus on your great platform, the Gambian Talents TV. And tonight I will be joined by Babukar Manka of the State of Mind Multimedia Company and also Surah, a performing and recording artist out of the Gambia who is currently based in the UK. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Surah and Babukar. Wa alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, Kalilu, thank you for having us and having me once again on the show. I'm glad to be here.
You know, I was mocking you. I was telling Surah that if your internet is not good and we have to drop you, then, you know, that will be wahala because Babukar was lost last week and 2 weeks ago. So we we are hoping that you are not going to be dropped tonight. But again, here we are. I want you guys to introduce yourself to the public. We start with Surah Suso. Surah, welcome to the program, Surah, you know, and you greet our viewers.
Hello, Kalilu. Thank you for the invitation, and hello, greetings to Gambian Talents Promotion, and you know, just saying hello to everybody, all the viewers in Gambia, in the diaspora, and I'm very happy to be sharing this platform with Babukar Manka, and then yourself. Yeah, my name is Surah Suso, a Gambian kora player, percussionist, singer-songwriter, based in the UK.
All right, thank you, brother Surah. We are also very happy to have you tonight on the show. Babukar, a little introduction to the people, your viewers. A lot of people were watching you the other time. Say assalamu alaikum to all of them.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum to you guys, my fellow panelists, and then the people that are watching us. I would say reintroduction because I was here a couple of weeks ago, but then Gambian internet. But today I have traveled a few kilometers to make sure what happened last time doesn't happen. And I hope today we have a better internet. So I am hopeful we'll complete the show today. Yeah, I think I'll be better than Surah, even though he's in Boris Johnson's land. I trust our internet here.
Yeah, I hope Surah can hear you properly. Surah, are we hearing you, Surah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that is very good. So we want to start the interview with you because there is a kind of a relationship between music and multimedia, particularly the film industry and also photography and filming, basically, because most of the songs that you people are making, at the end of the day, it turns into a video. Like, so we have audio visual. That is the reason why we have audio visual. And then this is the reason why I try to bring two disciplines, which is the multimedia field and also the music industry together on one platform, so that we can be able to start a conversation that will be interactive, and a conversation that we will be able to share ideas, knowledge, and experiences about some of the good things that we are doing in the music sector and also in the multimedia field. But again, it is important that we do a proper introduction of you, and then nobody can be able to do that apart from yourself. So we want you to take us through your musical journey. How does it all began, Surah?
Thank you, Kalilu. That's a very good question. I was born Surah Hatta Suso. I was born in the family, like a griot family. My father is a kora player called Jali Mamadou Suso. And my mom, may her soul rest in peace, Fatu Bintu Suso from Ziguinchor in the Casamas.
Wow.
I was born, raised in a Bakote layout. And I mean, I come from, both of my parents are all griots from a kora player family. So I was born, there's music already in the house, So my father always takes me with him when he's going to, do his like naming ceremonies or weddings and, all this stuff. So I'm always with him. And then my mom also is a singer. So, I mean, I absorbed, all that from mom and dad. So, and then, just been developing since then. Just that every day, it's like a routine in the household. Going to school, come back, going to play football or anything, bam on the kora and percussion, because I play drums as well, like djembe, sabar, this was my toys, I actually grew up with this. So musical family, and then I've done stuff in Gambia. In the beginning, I used to play percussion in like Zimbas, when they have Zimba, they will hire me and my friends. Because what I did was, when I was younger, I recruit all the young boys in my neighborhood. So they all come with me. I would just play all the small parts, so I give them parts. You play all different parts. So this was me, putting all the kids together, and then whose parents didn't like it because they were not griot. So they were like, stop playing, you're not griot. Surah is a griot, so don't play, So I grew up with that, and then, also my dad taking me to the hotels, playing with him, and so it just developed from there all the way to where I am today. So it's a lot of things happens, but in short, I started from there. Then I moved to England when I was 17, because my elder brother called Sekou Keita, who invited me to join his band as a percussionist. So I came to the UK to play drums. I was playing a calabash, like leket, calabash and a hi-hat and some cymbals and splash and shakers, congas, dundums, all sort of, like sabar and tama, different stuff. And when I arrived in the UK, I was touring with the band, so we were traveling different countries and playing in a major festival. So I grew up in that, from age of 17, touring with different bands, and with them playing percussion, and also doing collaboration with the kora, playing with different artists from all over the world. So this was my journey, and I'm still here doing that.
Wow, interesting journey. So typically you started with kora, and then you develop into playing other instruments like the drums, percussion, and some of the talking drum, the calabash. So these were all instruments that you were playing. So we can say you are a multi-instrumental player.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So the singing came after because I mean I remember when I was younger I used to be really shy to sing. You know when you see people that say, "Hey, I'm going to come on dear, I'm going to come on dear," so then I lose confidence then. So I was
Okay.
just like, okay, I'm gonna focus on the kora and focus on the percussion, and then yeah. So as time goes on, then the vocals start coming, joining in. But yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Surah. I think that is a very important area that we will be able to talk about later on when we come to you, because we like that fact that you are a multi-instrumental player, and then now you are a recording artist too. So we will talk about that. You know, how do you graduate from a multi-instrumental player to a recording artist, and then also some of the things that are connected with that. But again, Abu Garmanka, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about your role in the multimedia field, what inspired you to become a film director. And, you know, because we established the fact that you were behind a film called Gift from Babylon. And then this film is an award-winning film, and it has gone to so many places. And how did it all come about? How do you manage to, you know, how does it manage to pay dividends with regards to the young industry, like the creative industry in the Gambia? How do you manage to do that with your media company?
Okay, it's a little bit of a loaded question, but I'll answer half of the first one. That is what inspired me to join the media, and more on the film that we recently created. That is a Gift from Babylon. What brought me into the film industry was a little bit of accident, because as I said last week, my brother was in the industry for about a year before me, and then he always hated the fact that anytime he comes to my house, after I finished grade 9, I was only loitering around, waiting for my job to come so that I can go to the university, even knowing I couldn't pay my university fees. My parents didn't have the money to pay that, even if they were out. But I was still thinking I am an academic, and that's what I wanted to do. But he forced me. It was actually a force for me to come to the office to spend time there. Maybe I can learn IT, I can learn computer, so that when I go to the university, it will be easier. When I got there, I have always been curious. I've always been curious with films, because everybody that grew up with me will tell you, if you want to know anything about films, you go to Bangkok. Even if when I was 10, 7, 11, around that age, I used to travel 2 to 3 hours every day to go and watch films at Lazarkunda Video Club, paying 50 bututs to later $2. So when I went to the office, I was fascinated by these things that I thought were magic. Actually, it's so difficult. When you press this button, you press that button, you press this button, I can have an idea of how those people used to make those films that I used to pay all that money for. So it was like, okay, I too understand this. And then it still kept me going until I fell in love with the act of doing things that amazed me in the beginning. So then it became a job. It started paying. And even when my grade 9 results came out, grade 12 results came out, I spent about 6 months in the school without me going for it, because I didn't care about academics anymore. I was so much in love with the media, and then I started learning fast. At the time it was 2009, 2010, there were not so many resources, but because of learning was a little bit more difficult than we are right now, but much more easier than people that were there before me, the likes of Post Jaju and Isa Jaju, they learned through very difficult means. Mine was a lot easier, but I had books, I had mentors, I had equipment to play with, and then it came about. So, and State of Mind was set up by a partnership between a Gambians and Dutch group that wanted to develop the media in the country. And since 2007, we've been collaborating with them. Anytime they come, they use our knowledge of the Gambia and their expertise in the media to create content. Because in doing these things, you need technicians, but also you need people that understand the context of what you're doing.
So I don't want to stop you, but can we say because there is a rich content or story that is available in the Gambia. That is why they were interested to come and work with you.
No, it's not there was something. They came because there was lack of something, and they wanted to create that thing. But they cannot come as foreigners and want to take over everything without working with the natives. When they came, they knew Gambia don't have a vibrant media sector, because this is 2007. At the time, things were not as busy as they are right now. So they came to say, let's help these people with equipment and training. And I came in around 2009. So when I came in, I already met that foundation there. But now they started working, and they were using our knowledge of the Gambia and our cultures to help them create content about the Gambia. So yes, but that was just brief. They will come maybe for a month and then they go, and we were learning on our own too, even though with guidance from them. I went through a few other places, but as I said, the reason that got me to media was I now finally was able to decode all these things that were magic to me when I used to watch films. I've always loved films. My parents used to beat me a lot for staying overnight on other people's houses watching TV. Not overnight. I'll be there till 1 a.m. and then I'll be sneaking into windows to go back to the rooms, and they'll beat me always. So when I started media, the interest was, okay, these people are not actually magicians. What they're doing, I can do with these things. So now I have always been interested in telling stories. Even when I was in junior and senior schools, I was writing films in my head. I've never written them, but they were good films. So after 2009-10, I've been developing my skills in writing until 2016-17, when I started writing proper. I started learning a lot by myself. And then I read proper until the level that these people that taught us in 27 now felt my writing was good enough for the caliber of work that they're doing, and they want to collaborate with me to do a film. So I wrote the whole film. They tweaked here and there, and then we did the production.
So what is the name? What is the name of the film? Jigs from
Babylon. It was my first film. The film I first wrote was a 2-hour film, but they said because of funding and lack of resources in the Gambia, so we made it a short film to 20 minutes. So I have to for us to make the 20 minutes film, I have to just cut out parts of the longer film so that it can fit into the short film that we are talking about.
Okay, so I just want to know some of the things that you do differently that paid that paid dividend with regards to your establishment that is different from what other people are also doing in the Gambia, for you to be able to run us down through that. And another thing also is that, you know, it's very complicated when you look at how people make film. You talk about pre-production, you talk about production, and then you also talk about post-production. And then when I was with Mandimori Foundation for Performing Arts, if we are to write a proposal and then, you know, we come up with some ideas, what you guys need is very difficult because I don't have any idea about that. So it's difficult when I hear them saying tripod, iPod here, costume, and all these stuffs, strip writing, and all those stuffs. So I become confused. So maybe you can be able to enlighten us a little bit about some of the things that you do in the process, which make you unique, you know, as an establishment.
Okay, so now I'll answer the last question and then go to the first one. When I was driving to get to this place, I was listening to ST throughout. And then I was also listening to other songs. I'm not a musician, but I can tell, okay, this person at this bass in this line was off key. But if you tell me how, I cannot tell you.
Exactly.
Surah will hold an 11 string, 21 string scorer, and you are playing it in a radio, and he can tell you right now he is touching string number X, Y, and Z. That is profession. That is his work. What is good, what is bad is easy. I can easily point out how good or bad Kalilu is with interviews, but I cannot tell you how to correct it. When Surah play, I can know, yeah, this is good music or that's bad music, but I cannot tell you why not. So, but the other part of your question, are you here? Yes, for the listeners then, if you're not here. The other part of the question is what makes us unique. Today, this morning, I was talking to one of my neighbors that also got into the media and was asking for advice. I told him, media is too large for you to try to be everything. You cannot be everything. Find something that you are best at and be the best. And State of Mind from inception to date, we are not the best in the country. But there are things when you want them in the Gambia, you come to State of Mind. And we make sure for those things, nobody does it better than us. When we started in the Kalilu, are you here? Okay, let me just continue. When we started in 2007, Kalilu, are you here?
I am here, yeah.
Have you heard anything of what I said before? Yeah, but I'm just answering the part of what makes us unique. What makes us unique is we have, from the beginning, understood the business part of multimedia and understand that we cannot be the best at everything. Many people call us to tell us we need music videos, we need films, we need X, Y, and Z. We always tell them this is what we do, the rest we don't do. It's not that we are not able to do the rest, but we cannot be the best at everything.
Exactly.
So every couple of years, we sit and redirect our plans on where do we want to go? What does the market need right now, and what service do we provide? When we started in the beginning, 2007, because of our collaboration with these people, Dutch, we had the advantage of equipment. No media house in Gambia had better equipment than us. So people will come to us for the equipment. They didn't care if we were editing. They didn't care if we knew how to operate the cameras. So AfriCell, QCell, all these companies will come to us for the equipment. And through those jobs, we were able to learn. Because each client have different things that they need. And with serving those needs, you learn more. When Surah was playing for the Zimbas, his skill set is now very different from when he's playing from a concert. Because as the need grows, your skill grows too. The demand grows, and then you have to meet up with competencies. So from, let's say, 2007 to 2009, we were the best at equipment. 2009 to 2010-11, we were good at bringing cameramen, enough cameramen for these companies. QCell was our main client, then QCell and all these other institutions. But from 2010, we decided that we're going to pioneer giving equipment to filmmakers, drama. We did films at the time, and so many people followed suit. We started doing corporate videos, we started doing documentaries, but we also evolved from there and started doing concerts from maybe 2013, 14, 15, everybody that needs concert, even though they had friends all over the media, and they say, no, go to State of Mind. Because they have the capacity, they have the skills to do this kind of technical work. And then from 2014, 15, people started to call us, no, we are difficult, we don't take X, Y, and job, but we started to prioritize. We don't do concerts, we don't do films, we don't do all these jobs that keep you sleepless and not give you the money. We only do corporate works for big institutions.
Okay.
And that job, we make sure we learn more about these people's their policy, how to present it better, how to analyze information, and how to present it to people. Also, and those things require time and time to sleep. Before I came in, Musa, how to call it, Usman Diouf was asking me, telling me, I know you guys are workaholics. I told him, no, I am not a workaholic. You can call Alaji a workaholic because he's a technician.
Okay.
I am not a workaholic. I am an artist.
A director. We can say you are a director.
No, I am an artist, I am a director, but I cannot be busy every day. Then I will not be effective.
Okay.
Sometimes, like, okay, let me just bring it, even though it is inappropriate. Sometimes with my family, I tell them I need to sleep. They say, you're not working. I tell them, no, I just need peace. That sleeping is very important in my work because I need a relaxed brain to think.
Exactly.
And within a week or within a month, I can maybe just do 2, 3, 4, 5 thinking, and then not work for the whole month. And people implement those things. And those are the guys you guys will call workaholics. And those are the people that make it right. But from 2014 till date, it's just that the demand is getting higher, but we've been trying to make sure we don't do everything. We just do few things, but we do them very right. Like right now, not state of mind, but Babakar Manka as a person, I am doing communications for a certain political party in the Gambia. But the work is just strategic. This is the information you need to transmit. How do we come strategically to push those informations? So that is our edge. We always look at where is our advantage. And for us at State of Mind, at this level, our advantage is looking at your product and knowing the context it came from, the context you want, where you want to take it, and we tell you where to take it there. But we're not the most creative with music videos. We're not the best with films. We are not all that. We just make sure information you want to pass, we tell you the right way to pass it. But personally, as a person, I am a documentary producer. That's what I learn every day. I am a storyteller. That's what I study every day. And that's for the future. That's where I'm heading. Okay. But right now, I communicate for corporate institutions.
So you are using multimedia to be able to communicate to the public, and then you do that for the corporate companies in the Gambia. Yes. By establishing what you call documentaries, series, like sub stories, and then also subtitles in different languages, like in local languages also. And you also use the social media platforms also to promote these companies, because I am seeing that, even not you doing it personally, but Babukar is also, Alaji is also doing that, because we see you people are working with UNDP, UNFPA,
all the UN agencies.
All the UN agencies. Okay, so that will bring another question, but we will go to Surah first before we come back to you. Now, Surah, I was telling you the relationship when you graduated from being a multi-instrumental player to a recording artist. What steps did you take, like particularly in UK, to be able to do that? Because at 17, you were already in UK, so you were going on tours with a band. And in this particular band, you were a drum set player. You were a drum player, so not actually a kora player. So it was later that you graduated to start playing kora and then to have your own performances. Can you tell us something about that in depth so that we understand how you developed?
Yeah, I'm actually struggling a little bit to hear. I mean, it's playing. I don't know if it's the mic or something, but could you please repeat that question, please?
So I'm saying, like you said, you were a multi-instrumental player. How do you manage to become a recording artist?
Yeah, I mean, being a multi-instrumentalist, I mean, you can become it's very easy to becoming recording artist. I mean, for me, it's just advantage, because when I'm recording my album, already if I have an idea for the melody, because I play string instrument, so I already have an idea for the melody, for the song, and then automatically I know the rhythm of, or basically I automatically know what rhythm I want to hear. So it's actually easy for me to record full song, just me, just playing the kora and playing a bit of percussion to it, a bit of guitar here and there, you know what I mean? So it just makes it easy for me to do a lot of things. But yeah, if that answers the question, I'm not very sure if that was your.
Yeah, but you are breaking down a little bit. I don't know what is happening with your connection, or we are not hearing you properly. I'm so even my viewers are not hearing you properly. Boris. Oh yeah, UK. We can we can only agree. Well, Surah, I'm afraid you have to go out and come back again. Just go back, go out of the link, and then come back again, so we see whether that will work, and we can continue with Babukar, because I know we don't want you to lose this interview. We don't want to lose this interview. I mean, it's great to have someone like you. If you can go back and come in again, that will be fine. So Babukar, you were telling us about your relationship with the corporate companies, and then it was important to understand. You were talking about the product. You see a product and you think you can be able to enhance on promoting that particular product. Those are some of the works that you are interested in. So can you enlighten us? What are the types of products that you fall in love with?
So when it comes to, I want to say things that we fall in love with. Generally, what we do is create context, videos, strategic videos. But we don't necessarily have to love your information for us to do works for you. Things that I love doing, I do it maybe once in a year. That is documentaries and films. That's what I love.
Exactly.
But the other things that I do for the rest of the year are things I need to do to survive and feed the dream and feed the needs of what I actually love. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, of course, yes.
If I keep saying I'll only wait for the jobs that I love to do, I might never ever have money for the jobs that the dreams I have to implement those films and expenses. But coming back to your questions, the people we work for, the NGOs, these are people like I don't like to say we're the first or we're the pioneers, because other people have been there, but we emphasized it. That is, people have maybe a whole 1 week event, and we can look at it and tell you, we can tell your story, what you've done in this 1 minute, 1 week, in 3 minutes, and it will be very effective, because we are living in an internet generation. People don't have the time to watch 1 hour or 10 hours videos. We can tell it in 3 minutes, but the 3 minutes will be more effective than the 2 hours because of our messaging style. You understand? So now that is what we have started and have been proven to the point that the companies are now addicted to it. The people that we work with, we do all of everything that is from European Union in the Gambia. We do it. All the agencies and all these other NGOs in the Gambia, we do most of the NGO works in the Gambia.
So I just want us to establish a clarity so that the public can be able to learn from what we are talking about. And in organizational development work, every project that is established by an NGO, there is there is a column, there is an activity called reporting. Now, there should be an activity reporting. So this activity reporting could be done in writing, and it could be done pictorial, and it could be done on video. So the writing part of it, maybe somebody can take like about 2 hours to be able to read what is written and be able to understand. But the video part of it could be able to simplify it to the level whereby somebody in 15 minutes will be able to understand what is really going on. So you are telling me that is the nature of job that you are doing for the NGOs. So you are facilitating their reporting abilities to be able to engage their stakeholders. Because, when you have a donor conference, and in this particular donor conference, there is a reporting part of it, whereby, the NGO will be able to prove to his partners some of the things that they are doing. So it could be in a video, and that will send a strong message whereby people will know some of the things that they were doing. So is that what you are telling us in short?
Yeah, partly. I'll just give an example. In 2017, everybody knew what EU was doing in the Gambia to help the new Gambia. I hate to use that word. Okay, but new Gambia.
Exactly.
And EU contracted us throughout 2017 to 2018. They were busy every week, but they wanted to make a 30 to 45 minutes video that tells Gambians and Europeans in Brussels that are giving them money to implement the Gambia what they have done that whole year. And that is a lot of projects. So now that's where State of Mind comes in. They gave us a bulk of books, information on their website, things they've done from so many years. And we have to and say, okay, you think this is important, but for us as professors, we tell you this is not important. This we have to emphasize. This we have to reduce. X, Y, and Z. And that 30 minutes to 45 minutes was the video that they were supposed to take to Brussels. Donor conference that attracted the 1 point something billion that was supposed to fund our national development plan.
Development plan, exactly.
Yes, but instead of the video, 30 minutes video, they were supposed to take bulks, maybe thousands of pages, to now tell people where those monies went. So it's now our job, when you bring those bulky books to us as State of Mind, for us to dissect it, down and tell you, no, it will be boring if you go this way. We have to excite it. It can be exciting, it can be persuasive. Most of our videos are persuasive. You think you want to change a certain ideology, we help you develop videos that can form that ideology. We've done a lot for these women's rights activists. We've worked for your previous institution that helps children and artists generally. Okay, you were not there, but you guys took me to Ethiopia to help with those kind of videos. So, but with those 3 to 5 minutes videos, I am able to say what happened in Ethiopia for almost a week, and it is effective.
Exactly.
So now, that is the job we are doing. There's a little bit of noise in my background, but yeah, that is the work we're doing. It's just to help this institution communicate better. As I told you right now, I am helping KMC since last year to do the same things. I am also doing the similar service for a political party here to help them communicate, because we're getting into an election year. Even though naturally I would not have worked for a political party, that's why State of Mind is not taking jobs for a political party, because of the business entity, our business, we cannot be associated with politicians.
Exactly.
But Babakar Manka, route as an individual to help. I think we need, it's not about which political party we're doing this for. It's to tell politicians that when you guys say campaign, a major part of the campaign is communication. You guys are not the experts in that. Allow us to communicate for you. And when they realize that we are essential in that work, then it will become a norm. And when that norm is established, we will diversify the market. Us in the media, people will start, will not only be waiting for music videos and weddings and films and documents. They will be diverse. There will be people that are only doing one part, or some people are only doing TV adverts, some people are only doing in films. But the problem is now everybody is in wedding ceremonies or music videos, and we're not diversifying. So
no, but I think my argument there is because of the capacity. You know, we've always been talking about this. When you have inadequate capacity in an environment, then people don't actually tend to understand the things that they need to do to be able to, you know, develop better. Now, because the nature of the job that you are doing, you know, like you said, I don't think it's only State of Mind that can be able to do that. But again, the foresight, and then, you know, the planning, and then the way that you think, like the initiation, the idea, how the ideas you come with. Because project reporting, creating public education and public awareness. This is what artists can also do. This is what musicians also do, because musicians can be able to come up with a song that will be able to raise awareness, that will be able to educate people. But you know, the delivery and the medium that they do it, maybe that will be the difference. And you know, this is very important that you are coming up with an idea like that. That okay, you try to graduate from making music videos, or you know, covering, you know, videos for ceremonies and things like that, and now concentrating on with corporate companies. I think that is very, very important. But again, you know, Babukar, the idea of script writing and directing, how do you come to do something like that? You know, how did you get the capacity?
Yeah, I want to touch on some of the parts you were saying before and then continue. And context. State of Mind, in the beginning we said the name of the company was State of Mind Multimedia Training Center. Until today, 2021, this is the institution started 2007. Until today, that's the mindset we take. I have spent the last 2 years studying documentaries with experts, Oscar-winning directors and producers. We talk almost every day. They're training us. State of Mind is now setting up training programs for free that will come in later to train young Gambians on things I was able to benefit with within these years. So now when we say State of Mind is a multimedia training center, it's a mindset. We keep shifting from one project to another, one style of work. Is we want to create possibilities where people don't think it's possible, but when it comes oversaturated, we jump to the next thing.
Exactly.
When we started concert, not much people were doing. There's still lack of that. But when people started, we jumped to another thing. With films, same thing. Now we're in corporate work. People think, okay, that's why these boys are rich. So let me also do it. Now that they're going to coming there, we're also moving to another direction. That's like I'm almost losing my breath. Okay. But it's important. The line of training center is to show people when you come to State of Mind almost every day, there's a new cameraman or a cameraman that we know somewhere that we are helping with equipments or advice on how to move their business forward. And some of those things involve telling them what is possible with the media. What kind of productions do they do? What kind of directions do they take? The business part too, which is very important. When a lot of people make a mistake, they just follow the passion and not follow the business. The reason why we're able to sustain this level is because, as passionate as we are, we also have been thinking a lot about business to feed us and also get us the best equipment so that we can do these things right. So, as I said, it's all about setting the pace for the other people that are coming to have a direction. When the direction is set, then we move to another. Together, we're telling you we are on corporate videos. You will not see us into those things. We'll be on other things that not many people are doing. So back to, let me allow Surah to talk, then we come back to writing. Let me get my voice.
Okay, no problem. I think Surah is back now. So Surah, are you with us, Surah?
Yeah, I'm here. The connection is still it's still playing up, but I can just about hear it.
Yeah, I don't know why what the connection want. It's just, but again, Surah, we were talking about you being a cultural artist, which is like a multi-instrumental player. You learn kora at a very young age, and then again, there is a little bit of echo that is coming from your. I don't know whether you are connecting something. There is an echo
from Surah.
Yeah, from Surah. There is an echo that is coming. Whether your kora is on. Is your kora on your phone?
Everything is off. It's just this phone. It's just the phone I'm using just now.
So you okay? Now you are okay. The echo is not coming. So Surah, take us through you being a recording artist. And then when you become a solo artist, what are some of the things that you accomplish internationally? That's what we want to know.
Yeah, I mean, being a multi-instrumentalist is just give me a lot of, you know, like a facility to be able to play with different people and with different instruments, you know. And like I said earlier, it helps me when I'm writing music, writing songs. It helps me to automatically have that idea of the drum, how I want the drum to go, and all the rest of it. So it helps me a lot. And then, like I said in the beginning, I played this percussion with my brother, and we did about 3 different albums. And then I remember playing on, I think this was 2011. I played on Surah album. And then
So you played on Surah's album?
Yeah, I played drums there, yeah, percussion on a few songs. So these are stuff that I've been doing, but also what I'm really, really interested in is the collaboration and then playing with different musicians and different instruments from different part of the world, from like a different, completely different culture or sound or background. This has been something that I really, really enjoyed doing, like playing with Indians, with like Chinese, you know, different kind of music, you know, really. Yeah, but I also done a lot of solo stuff with just me and the kora.
Just you and the kora.
So the kora, and sometimes me and percussion player, usually my younger brother Suso. And I mean, I do different stuff. I mean, I'm just everywhere.
So you are just like everywhere. Surah is everywhere.
Yeah, Surah, what? Anywhere you put me in, you know, musically, when it comes to what, kora or percussion or anything to do with like a rhythm, this is my thing.
Okay, so can we also say that you are a young composer? Because if you have the ability to play different instruments, so I think you should be able to participate in arrangement, in song arrangement, and at the same time song composition. Are you doing something like that?
Absolutely, because I mean, I enjoy writing new stuff. I enjoy writing new material with arranging them, and also songwriting as well. And I mean, I basically grew up learning traditional songs. And that, how it happened was because I never had like a one-to-one teacher, because my father is like a busy griot, so he's always traveling or working with Ifambondi, because my father is a member of Ifambondi band. He's a choral player and singer in Ifambondi, so he's almost never around all the time. So how I learned was just listening to him play when he's around. That's how I learned. So yeah, I'm really sorry to hear. I don't know if that answers your question again.
Yeah, that answers the question a little bit. And then how do you manage to cement yourself in the music industry of UK? Because we are aware that there is a lot of music development projects that you are into, that is supported by some institutions in UK, and at the same time, those projects are seeing you in performing in festivals. Can you tell us something about that?
So I'm struggling to hear you, to be honest.
Now, I am saying we are aware of the fact that you are already, cementing yourself in the music sector of the UK, because you are participating into some of the music projects that are happening in UK. We are seeing you partaking in festivals. Can you tell us something about those things?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back again. Like I said, when I came in to play with a band that is already established here, and so basically came from Gambia, running a professional band, so touring around. So during those tours, you make connection. You know, people know who you are, and then during that, my brother, sometimes he can't do some shows, he will let me go and do them, and this is how things built up. But then, yes, Arts Council England is being very, very supportive to my musical career. As in, I do projects. If I do a project with like the classicals, or like the project with the Indians, the project with the Chinese, so there's always like supporting me and the group to do some projects. There's, and also like my brother's entourage. My brother's entourage always helped me as well. Like my brother's ex, who is my manager, who helped me with the management stuff. I basically have people around me who support me.
So, Surah, I just want to say that that information was very good, because you were talking about the British Art Council, but we are not hearing you properly, and I'm afraid that we're gonna take you off, and then probably we will organize another special program with you, because your connection is so the reception is bad at the moment, and then viewers are they are experiencing that. So.
Kalilu,
Yeah.
I'm hearing there's a little bit of crumbles here and there, but I'm hearing some of the things he's saying. I think it's just a little bit of an echo or something that is happening there, but I think it's important we learn from him. If he is able to come back better, I don't know.
Yeah, because
we can continue.
the echoing is affecting even me, and I guess the viewers also. So it's important that we understand exactly what he is talking about, because I can hear him saying that the British Art Council are supportive of some of his projects. And then, those things are very important for us to know, and some of the activities that he's been doing in UK, so that we can be able to dissect.
Before Surah goes,
Uh-huh.
Since these kind of interviews we are doing here, it's not for people to know about Africa, it's not for people to know about Surah, it's but for people that are watching to have ideas of how things go, the business, and the things. And one thing I want to, before Surah go, for us people to understand is, there is importance in knowing your art, the craft. The reason why Surah is able to play a kora on top of the Chinese band or people is because he knows his music, he knows how to communicate with them. Surah can sit here. Surah, maybe you mute the can you mute the audio?
Surah, you can mute your, yeah?
Exactly.
So when you are talking, we can hear, yeah.
Yes. So the reason why Surah can communicate with professionals is when they tell him touch C or E, they know he knows what they're doing. He can listen to the song, entire song, and know this is the scale they are on. I cannot do it. A lot of artists just think because they can sing, they can shout in this way or rhyme in this way, they're musicians. But it's important to study your art, because one very important thing that it helps you is able to collaborate with other professionals that has no idea where you're from or what you're doing. And that is why Surah is able to travel far and wide. And that is why also a lot of art products we have in the Gambia cannot go anywhere, because like even the documentary I am doing, I was trying to collaborate with Gambian artists, Gambian professionals, but we couldn't even communicate with the same language. They didn't even know the kind of things I wanted to do. Like you tell them I want this, they don't even know what you're speaking, the language you're speaking, and they've been doing things for a long time. I don't know if you understand. So for people that are watching, before Surah leaves, I want to tell you, I am inspired by what Surah is saying. Can you seem to disappear? I am inspired by what Surah is saying because he's able to collaborate. Right now, this last year and 2 years ago, I've been working with Oscar-winning directors and producers, but we speak the same language because I read about the art.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just pointing cameras on people, you will not be able to talk with other professionals. So I think people that before Surah, I just wanted to say this before Surah leave, so that people can learn their art and know it. So that you can, his things, he can put it in a hip hop beat, in blues, in jazz and everything. And he can do all those things because he knows music. Not just talented that your father taught you how to do this and do that. So
Exactly.
I just before he goes, yeah.
I think Surah is trying to establish himself a little bit better. Surah, are you hearing us now?
Well, barely. I mean, the connection is not really good, but I just heard a bit. Hello?
Yeah, we are getting you now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Babukar spot on. That's what I was trying to say. But I think if the connection is not good, probably we can reschedule it for some other time, because I don't want to jeopardize what you're talking about, because you're talking about a very, 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 very important topic. So I think I'll just let you guys carry on, and next time we can try this for another time. But for now, I'll just say thank you very much for having me. And sorry, couldn't, there's problem from my end, but I hope next time I'll be able to fix this. But
exactly. We don't want to lose a professional like you. Like Babukar was saying, the important thing about this program is not like we are trying to say, okay, what Gambians are doing is not good. We can be able to mention quite a lot of people, quite a lot of professionals that are in the Gambia and outside the Gambia that are doing very good. But again, how can we be able to enhance capacity? How can we be able to enhance professionalism to ensure that the things that we are doing, we do it proper. So we are not against anyone. We are not talking bad about anyone, but we are trying to see an idea to see what are some of the things that we need to do together to be able to promote the cultural sector of the Gambia. So thank you so much, Surah, for joining us, and we will try to bring you back again another time. And we are so sorry that you cannot be able to complete this interview with us.
I didn't hear half of that, but thank you for having me.
All right, thank you so much. So Babukar.
Yes.
Babukar, you were talking about working with corporate companies, and also the saturation of the activities that different multimedia companies are doing in the Gambia, and which you try to ensure that to do something different, so that you can be able to generate revenue for yourself, and then also for the growth of your company. So which was very important. I want to tell you something. Are you aware of a bidding process from United Nations Family Planning Association, like 4 days ago? Are you aware about that? On a short documentary on female genital mutilation.
I am not aware, and naturally I don't usually follow those things because I am not the businessman. Alaji Manka is the businessman. He's the one who do those things. But also, we don't just work for everybody. There's always people that tell us, I want you to, today I received 2-3 people that tell me, okay, I want you to do this for us, but I told them my timetable will not allow me. So even those bids, we don't run for bids. We don't chase bids because we have our clientele that are annual. We don't use, not that we do a 25 minutes video and then you pay for us. Most of our payments is annual. And so, I have not heard of that, but maybe Alaji would know. But personally, I don't.
Yeah, because the reason why I want to come to that, because I saw the bidding process, and then something weird come to my mind, because the bidding process is requiring a short documentary movie, or like a documentary that is going to promote awareness on female genital mutilation in the Gambia. But again, the bidding process was done on the 19th, and they required a quotation and also a full proposal that is going to be submitted on the 27th. So meaning it's only like 7 days in between. And in the requirement, they need a storyline pitching, they need a script, they also need a costed production and post-production plan, they need a trailer, they need a final film in the standard film, and they also need like a copyright launching and promotion and distribution plan. So these are the things that have to be inside, the budget breakdown, and then and also the activities that the multimedia company is going to do. So at your level as a script director and also as a script writer, do you think someone can be able to accomplish that within a period of 1 week?
Very well, very well. Within 2 days, instead of might do it within hours, because we've done it 1,000 times. I have done close to 100 FGM documentaries, and I'm beginning to lose taste for it because I've done too much of it. We've also done so many biddings, we actually help other people bid. So that's the difference. That's what I'm telling you for people to learn. There are so many people that are capable of doing the documentary, but they don't know the paperwork.
Exactly.
That is paperwork, we have done so much of that. We have employed people that only do that. Everybody here also can do it by themselves. So that's what I'm saying. It's a business, it's passion, but also it's a business, it's a craft, and you need to know it. You need to know how to apply. You need to know where to look for applications. You need to know which relationships to build so that these informations will always, you will always get this information. So, but as I said, State of Mind don't run after bits unless we are, usually people help on us because our table is always full of jobs and we now select.
Yeah, because I want to create a link there also, because when you look at what you were saying with regards to working with the corporate companies, you should be able to visualize and conceptualize some of the things that they are doing, like the activities, because in a scope of an activity, especially the objectives of a proposal, whereby they tell you, okay, to enhance public information on FGM, and then to promote spatial and behavioral change, to the linked religion and FGM. So you as a film director should be able to know what is the concept or the perception of the Gambian people with regards to female genital mutilation, whether there is a kind of a religious aspect that they are bringing into play, so that how you will be able to translate that into a film to be able to educate the people that it has nothing to do with religion. So that mindset, you might be an artist, but again, decoding that into a message, someone can be able to do that for you. Don't you think so?
Yes, I was telling you earlier of what State of Mind does. As of right now, all this you're saying is what we do. You have your target points. When you come, you give us bullet points. I want at the end of the video for people to think Kalilu Banja is the best musician in the country. And then we tell you strategic ways to prove that point. If you want to say FGM is not religious, we tell you strategic ways to prove that point. We implement it in videos and then it goes forward. So that's what we do, and that's what we do every day. Every day we're doing those things. That is our edge.
So that is your comparative advantage.
That is it. When you want to communicate something, I tell you, we do persuasive communication. Inform people, persuade people to believe in things that they will not normally would not have believed in. Propaganda is a word that is now destroyed, but we do propaganda. We send a certain message. We build ideologies. That's that's all I was telling you in the beginning.
Yeah, I understand that, and I also like that.
All these things that you are saying, we do those things every day, and these bits, the EU bidding, The page is close to 400 pages. Like what their requirements and all those things, and you have to memorize all those pages because when you see the contract committee, they just ask you article number X, Y, and Z, and then you have to memorize it and bring it forward. So we are very used to these things, and these criteria are minimal compared to what we do every day.
Exactly. So that is very important. But there is another important part which is very good for us as creative players, because you know, in a bit like this, they are also stressing the need for copyright licensing. And then they are also urging the bidders, like the creative actors that are going to apply for these funds, so that all the content that is coming, the content will be 100% going to UNFPA. So what signal does that tells you? And with regards to the copyright, the lack of copyright implementation in the Gambia?
Tomorrow, what is today? Today is Saturday. On Tuesday, because I am the PRO of Filmmakers Association, I am going to meet with the new. We are going to set up a new board of directors on the collective society, and that's what we are going to talk about, because the implementation is slow, but copyright is complicated and mixed up. It's not an easy thing to kickstart. But when these people just write, usually when people write in their criteria of documentaries and they're bidding, it's complicated, and most of them sometimes they don't even know what they're asking for. Because if you tell me you need original music and you want to pay $25,000, it's not possible. Because I have to go to the studio and make sure he gets original samples. Make sure he creates original soundtracks. Soundtracks that match what I'm about to do. That is different from the video. But you want to pay minimal 20,000 to 50,000, and you're looking for all these criteria. It doesn't work. That's why challenge young filmmakers have. They just go to YouTube and download a song and put it there, because that's what they can afford with the budgets. As far as it's a professional fault from us as filmmakers, it's also a lot of faults from our clients. Because they don't know what they're looking for. They don't already put in the money. Because a normal script, what you are asking, like that criteria, normally one person cannot do that job. You should hire somebody like Babakar Manka that will tell you, to get this kind of ideologies passed, you need to go through this way. And then Babakar Manka will communicate to a director. And the director says, we have to use this kind of shots, this kind of actors, this kind of, and then we'll communicate to a casting director. And a producer and X, Y, and Z. And each of those people should be very well paid. Now you're talking about the musician, whatever, all those things. The budget goes very much high, and the Gambian companies will not pay you that much. So if the budget cuts down, we cut down all these professional things that we already know, but we don't implement. So when you now tell us about copyright, like all the other videos I do for all these corporate institutions, I am I am always responsible for copyright. If I bring Kalilu in front of my camera, the deal is between me and Kalilu. If tomorrow Kalilu says he needs royalty, it's not the business of the person that hired me. It's between me and Kalilu. Whatever I have to pay for these guys, it's my job. But then
that's what I'm saying. I'm just going to read what Uncle Badu is saying, and this is the reason why I brought the topic. Commercial jobs are copyright-wise, mostly work for hire, meaning the client is the right owner. That is the reality. But what we want to make clear is that when a bit of that nature comes, and then it's 1 week, and then the person who is applying doesn't even know that he need to be able to put those monies there, because of at the end of the day, the content that you are giving away, that content, you know, is an important content. How do you do the budgeting to be able to reach to that? Are you like trying to bring all that? Yeah.
Khalid, you worked at Kate, is it Kate, right? I know you guys are very much of last minute guys, right?
Yeah.
So there are so many projects that you just know within 24 hours, and you implement and do it right because you have done it 1,000 times. I can tell you, if that beat was sent to me today, tomorrow morning I'll present it.
Oh, okay.
Because I've done it so many times. So it is the challenge of the guy that is coming new into the industry to find the possible ways of doing this bidding. He can do all this bidding, and then in the end they tell him, do you have GPPA? Are you social things? Do you have social government? How many people are your staff? We cannot give you a company a job if your staff are not on social. All these other complicated things. That's why these people, it's not that they don't have the it's not that they don't have the skill, but these requirements, they're not ready to take the job to a professional level. And that's the sacrifice we've been doing at State of Mind, and that's why it's been paying off.
I think you are right there. So I think Pa also want to say something because Pa was signaling. Pa, are you getting us? Pa, I am just a little bit worried because I have gone through applications that will give a signal. That will give a signal for a period of 6 months, sometimes a period of even 1 year, to be able to submit proposals like that nature. But here is Gambia, for only 7 days, they want you to write a script for a short documentary. They want you to put all the proposal together, and then at the same time submit it later, not later than 27, after the bid was given on the 19th of January.
I just want to express first my love for the Manka brothers and how creative and passionate they are. I am not very close to Babukar. I wouldn't even say I'm not very close. I am not close to him at all. I see his work and I follow him and how professional he is. It's Alaji that is my boy. And I am amazed by the fact that both of them actually, when it comes to academics, they did not take it very, whether they didn't take it serious or they didn't actually pursue it to the extent or to the level that other people have.
Yeah.
Hello.
So America also is going.
Yes. Yes, listening to him the last time and listening to him again just amazes me. So I want to recognize his thing, and I've learned a lot from what he said. He is saying and doing, and I want to salute them for being trendsetters. Now, on a separate note, when it comes to this subject, I would tend to disagree with him to a great extent with what you have said. He has made some very valuable points when it comes to them being already established, because they have the experience, they have the capacity, they know the nitty-gritties and some of the basic things that a newcomer or a novice might not have considered when it comes to, for example, registering with the GPPA. These are little things that a newcomer probably might have oversighted, knowing some of the things you need to have that can actually enable you to be able to qualify for government or other big institution, projects. But to say that within 1 week, you will be able to implement all these things that you mentioned here, I will tend to disagree with him that it can be done in a very professional way. As you've already indicated or stated, Kalilu, and Babukar said it earlier, and I think he contradicted himself there. He said sometimes he tells his family, I need to sleep. He can sleep and take 1 month to think. He's an artist, and he's right. I could relate to it when he was saying that. I could relate to it because as an artist, you need to think. You need to do research. You need to have a steady and stable mind. You are not an expert in every field. And going by an example of what you said, doing a documentary or a drama on FGM, we don't expect Babukar to know all the nitty-gritties and the ins and outs of FGM. For Babukar to be able to do a proper script on FGM, there's no doubt that a lot of research is needed on that area. Now we're talking about the GPPA requirements and all the other things, and him being already established, or their institution being established, but the requirement for you to be able to do proper research so that you can tell that story with facts. So within 1 week, you will have all the time to be able to reach those at the grassroots level, those that it affects. If they are trying to reach the last person in the village, in Badibu, or in Diabugu, or somewhere in the provinces or in the suburbs of the Gambia, you definitely need to do proper research to be able to tell the story that they can relate to. That's one thing, right? Number two, you will be able to do the job, yes. You can deliver, but certainly, as you said, in my view, it will end up being in a very mediocre way, or if it is not mediocre, you will exclude a lot of the necessary components or elements that should have been put into it. And that is why I always say that Nyun Gambian kono kafa junale. Anytime I come to your platform, I will say ne kono kafa junale.
No, but the thing is, my point here is as a program officer. When you talk about the linking religion and FGM, you need what you call a case study or a literature review to be able to authenticate what you are going to say. Now, I can just give you an example. Now, when the Prophet was coming from somewhere to go to Medina, there was a question he asked. He said, "Is that lady available here?" But it was a lady that was doing female genital mutilation. And then the people said, "Yeah, the lady is still here." And they said the Prophet referred, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, referred and said, "If she is still doing it, let her cut only little." So,
can I jump in, please?
Huh?
Can I just jump in? Huh?
You want to jump in? You don't want me to finish. So somebody was arguing. A religious leader was arguing that if the Prophet had lived for more than 100 years, maybe he will understand that there is a health hazard related to female genital mutilation, and he would have said, "Don't do it." So that is a broad argument that you need to be able to establish facts and also to know the prevalence of FGM in the Gambia. How can a drama actress like, let's say, Babukar, if Babukar is an actress, like just an actress, ordinary actress, and want to bid for that project, will be able to establish a fact like that? Before
coming, let me just land here as to what I was saying. It is we do a lot of mediocre work that makes us not to be able to meet the international standard just because we rush last minute thing. I can understand Babakar saying this, but I want to strongly recommend for him or everybody else, because he just teased you a few minutes ago that you guys are last minute when he worked for kids or whoever, that you did things last minute. This is a norm in Gambia. Everybody, every time, people always do things, and even the presidency. You can imagine us being invited. The president is to go on a countrywide tour. The media is invited 3 days or 4 days before. They want us to send the person that we want to send. They want us to send pictures of the person. They will ask for so many requirements, like Babukar is saying, so that they can vet the person to make sure that they have security clearance, so that they can go on a tour with the president or to be able to. Now, if we are busy as an institution or we are doing several things, it makes us not being able to send them somebody, because we need to send the right person that we think is credible enough. We don't just send any Tom, Dick, and Harry to the presidency or to go cover presidential tour, but they want to ask for all of these things last minute. I mean, and that is killing us as a country. We do things last minute when we could have been able to create ample time to be able to do these things. Project like that, even I apply for funding here all the time. As we are talking right now, I'm sitting at the Gambian Talent Studio, which is actually funded. Every month or two, I will write 2 or 3 proposals over here. And these proposals, they will give you at least a minimum of 1 month to 90 days a window period for one to be able to gather all the things, from just looking at the proposal, reviewing it, and gathering all the materials and setting the right people to be able to do the right job. But if you are only giving me 1 week to do a project, you are automatically by default setting me up to failure. Some of the key elements for you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, can I comment?
Yeah, thank you so much. Welcome comment. Yeah.
if Surah was here,
Mm-hmm.
and then you ask Surah to make a song about disability, Surah can create something. Surah can create something within the next 72 hours. It might not be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have, in what you had, these hadiths you are saying about FGM, I have been working with FGM for the past 5 years. I have heard every kind of human being on FGM. I have read every kind of document on FGM because
that is Babu Karmanka. That is Babu Karmanka. In a world, we are on an interview now. I will stop you. In a world like the Gambia, that is one person, Babu Karmanka, who knows that. Now,
Yes.
if we don't want only Babu Karmanka to be securing the UNFPA funds, and then what about the other companies? We want other companies also to develop, and in so doing, we need to be able to open up. So we are saying, learn from what Babukar is doing, right, so that others also can benefit from that, and then we can graduate, like to develop each other, and to develop each other. That is the reason we get you here.
Now, can you allow me to learn?
Yeah.
It is not realistic
Mm-hmm.
to do certain kind of research and stuff for within 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
It is not realistic. But I am not also expecting, they're expecting that whole package within 1 week.
Exactly.
What you are presenting is not the full-fledged research. You
Mm-hmm.
are bidding for it. And when the bid is given, why will I do the research for you without getting the job? When the bidding, when you bid for it, and then the job starts.
Mm-hmm.
That job start is research.
Mm-hmm.
The documentary, yesterday you saw my post, 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I spent 2 years to research a documentary that I'm doing for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
2 years, completely 2 years, and I'm still doing that research. Because in a few weeks I'm going to edit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not somebody that feels time is not important or I know everything or whatever. But what I'm saying is, naturally, from my experience, they don't ask you for everything before you present the first bit.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do the research for them and give them my ideas, and then they tell me, no, I'm not going to accept this job, and then they throw me away? No. But there are basics that you present that will tell them, okay, this guy can do the job, but not everything. So those basics I can do from now till tomorrow morning. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not telling you I can do all the information needed between now till tomorrow morning, because it's not possible.
The follow-up question here is, I just want to say, the reason why I brought up the topic is, don't you think it is important that artists need to work with a team of players, people who can be able to write proposals, people who can be able to guide them on laws, and people who can be able to manage them? So in that way, it will be important that some of these things that are coming up, other people can be able to do it for you. Is that what you were doing before?
Now, in the beginning of the show, I tell you, I am not a workaholic.
Mm-hmm.
What I do is very different from what Alaji does.
Mm-hmm.
What Alaji does is very different from what Pandi and other guys here do.
Mm-hmm.
Alaji is a fantastic businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He can make any equipment speak his language.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? My job is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We have people that are only here to write documents and correct my very horrible grammar.
Perfect.
Yeah, now, that is the team that makes us state of mind. Other people, we have very great individuals, but we don't have great teams in the Gambia.
Can I come in?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You cannot do anything without a team. You cannot do things without a team. But for you to make a good part of a team, you have to be good in your area. The reason why it is difficult to make teams is I cannot hire Kalilu and be better than Kalilu in what he's doing. And anytime I have to tell you, this is where you put your next foot.
Mm-hmm.
When I give you that job, I take off my head and focus on my job.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
just have a challenge with hiring people. I will hire you and end up doing your job because you're not capable enough.
Exactly.
Yes.
I want to say something.
Yes. Like you said, Kalilu,
Gambia,
we need to graduate from certain things that we do and learn to do things according to international standard. It is often said, or I don't speak a lot of French, but I have a favorite French saying that I always use. It is tout ce qui mérite d'être fait, mérite d'être bien fait. Tout ce qui mérite d'être fait, mérite d'être bien fait. And in short, it means what is worth doing is worth doing well. The bottom line here is the reason why Gambian institutions, starting from the government to all the corporations, institutions, and stuff, do this last minute thing for the most part, is to set a good number of people up for failure, because there are a lot of systematic gaps and elapses and loopholes and things that they have already established. Corruption is key in here. And one of the reasons is because they want to just patronize one particular institution. And if they, just like Babukar said, in any way, if they want to continue to work with State of Mind and they know State of Mind is the only one that has the capacity, they will wait till last minute and they put it out there, and that would handicap and so that nobody else can have the requirement but State of Mind alone. Because from the beginning, from the onset, they don't want to make it a competitive process. They don't want to give others the opportunity. They will sit on all of these things. Even if and they have the stuff months ago, they would rather wait till 1 week before, 3 days before, 4 days before, like I said, as State House would do, as other government institutions will do. They make things in mind. No hard. The last minute, you don't go give me just to make sure, okay, media be wow. So you know, you know, I face an own transport. You know, I just an own staff. You know, I definitely, you know, I provide food. You have a lot of logistical challenges that would enable you or handicap you from not being able to get into these things. And
exactly.
One of the things that we need to consider, and Babukar, for example, now to ask him, he said that today FGM, he has been working on FGM. But we are not only limiting this to one scope or one area. It could be several areas. It could be any other institution that you would work for. For example,
I want to come up here. I want to read something, and then I want all the viewers to listen carefully. I was saying, and Uncle Badu was saying that when the moment they give you the contract, so more material. That is true. But listen to what they are saying: copyright, patent, and other proprietary rights, except as it is otherwise expressed, provided in writing in the contract. UNFPA shall be entitled to all intellectual property and other proprietary rights, including but not limited to patent right, copyright, and trademark with regards to product, processes, inventions, ideas, know-how, or document and other materials which the contractor has developed for UNDP under the contract. Now, you know what I am trying to stress here? United Nations Development Family Planning Association is imposing intellectual property right enforcement on our creators. But the necessary law that is to protect our creators in the Gambia is not enough. So how many of those creators will be able to know the knowledge, how they need to give an estimate of a payment for someone hiring their service? Maybe probably Babukar will be able to know that. But I
said in the beginning, two things.
Yeah.
One, I am not the usual person that was bidding. The kind of bidding I do is for documentaries. And then that is not commercial documentaries. We call it treatment. We don't call it like the documentary I'm doing today, these 3 years, is going to DWTV. I have to tell them before they put one dime there, when they give me that money, how the documentary will look. And that will be because I have done enough research, I have talked to so many people, X, Y, and Z. That's the kind of thing I do. The other thing is, these biddings that you're doing, Alaji does that, he has more answers to these questions. Another thing I also said earlier is, most of the people that are writing these things, they don't know our job. They think it's possible, but not usually they don't know. They just go to Google and copy a sample of a template and then they bring it in the Gambia every time. There is no copyright in the Gambia. Why are you asking for copyright measures? We're not implementing.
No, Babakar, what is happening there? That is the international standard of the UN agencies, because they don't do anything that is going to give them fault with regards to copyright. So whatever documentation they are going to do, they will ensure that if they have to get the material belongs to them, and all the copyright wages are over. So what we are saying here is that now an artist who doesn't know, an artist who doesn't have like a team, like a lawyer who will be able to interpret a kind of a contract like this, will be at default, because the person
if we are fighting mediocre, if you are fighting mediocrity, let's not blame the institutions for raising their standard. Let the artists raise their standard. If every time they say it's high quality demands, that it favors state of mic, why are not the other people leveling that up to mirror state of mic, the things we brought? Now, let me come. If we are, before we do any contract, we get a lawyer and they look at that. We hire people that only read these documents. We have businessmen. We have people that are in the creative industry doing that. Why can't we level up? 2 years ago, I couldn't write documentary scripts and treatments. Today, I am doing one that is going on DWTV and is read by professionals that are world class. But they're knowing my language, because I know I will get here today, tomorrow, and I am studying today. You are talking about script writing. Tomorrow, I know in the next 5 years, that's what I will do every day, writing films and documentaries. I am studying that today. Nobody is paying me for that today. But I'm not waiting until the job comes and I say, no, I don't have this thing, I don't have this thing. It's not fair. I am preparing myself today for those things that I'm planning to do in 3 years, 5 years. So it is also, as we look at tell these institutions to make it fairer and easier, we should also up our game.
Exactly. Uncle Badu is saying, Kalilu Banja, copyright fees are statutory with the agencies. Individual rights owners don't calculate them. No, I am not saying that the individual right owners have to calculate them. What I am saying is, I have my song. It's like I have my compound. If I want, I can mortgage it. If I want, I can lease it. If I want, I can give my compound away. That is left to me. But I should be able to know how much my compound costs. You should be able to know that.
Yeah, so let me come in here, Kalilu. What I'm equally saying, what I'm going to add to that is, institutions in Gambia, international institutions in Gambia are taking advantage of a lot of things to their advantage, which they know on a normal day or circumstance they will not do in other countries or where they come from or their headquarters.
Exactly.
So because it's the Gambia and how we operate, we give them the opportunity to actually continue to do this, and by default they continue to abuse us, misuse us, mistreat us, and equally end up getting away with a lot of things. And even if these funding comes, they may end up diverting them to other areas when they were meant for a particular sector.
Exactly.
For failure, that I am very unapologetic for. What I am saying too, I have a little bit of experience in it. Gambian Talents Promotion is registered in the United States as a non-profit. I am constantly looking for opportunities and applying for funding. Guess what? They always make it easy. And in some occasions, in fact, I've worked with you on some of these things, where we apply for something and we don't meet the requirement, and they come back to us and said, they write back to us and said, well, this is what we need. If you don't know how to apply for it, go get. For example, like he's saying, GPPA and all of these things. There is something called DUNS number, DUNS.
DUNS number.
For something, yes, which of course is like the social security number or TIN number in Gambia, we say that non-profits must have. If I apply for funding, the first time I applied for funding through an institution, they could not do it. They sent me the link. They said, in order for you to qualify for this, you need a DUNS number. Here is the link to the DUNS number website where you can apply for it. SAR, or SAM or SAM is another requirement in which the FBI or the United States government would have to do proper background check on the non-profit and the people that are behind the non-profit.
Exactly.
And the FBI and the other security agencies, they will send you the link to those websites so that you can go and apply for it and be able to get. But they give you enough time to make sure that you are able to meet all of these things, from the DUNS number, the SAS number, the EIN number from the IRS, the 501c3 status registration with local authorities, for example, in the area of the Gambia, like in the case of KMC, DCC, you register with your local agency or community or county where you are in. And these are very important elements that you need to have. So all those little things they will sit on the application and tell you, this is what we need. If you don't have this, go look for it here. You don't have this, go look for it here. Instead, in a nutshell, the process is customized and simplified for people so that everybody will have equal opportunity to be able to have it, and not just a chosen few who already know the whereabouts. And Babaka, this is not specific to State of Mike. I deal with you.
No, bro. This show is for us to learn.
Yeah,
Kalilu, as I was saying, this documentary that I'm doing today, I was competing with almost 300 people in Africa. Only 17 were selected. Will I say because this is the first time Gambia.
Uncle Bado is saying a copyright agency will tell you how much your compound values calculate to the cent. Exactly. And that is the loophole, because we don't have a copyright agency in the Gambia, a collecting society. That's the loophole I'm talking about. So it is important that the creative actors of the Gambia, no matter how developed you are, no matter how established you are, let us be able to come together to be able to ensure that the gaps that are within the creative sector of the Gambia, we all work towards that, to ensure that the implementation and the enforcement of the copyright law is being done in the Gambia. And without us, the actors, talking about it, especially people who are established, it will never happen until doomsday.
Let me wear a different cap and answer that question.
Yeah.
The cap to wear is the PRO of the Filmmakers Association. That is part of the people that are going to select the board for that copyright collecting society. We are, it is a challenge that we all know in the Gambia. We all know copyright law is dragging for so many reasons. Some of those things we can put in public, some we cannot put in public. But at this stage, some people are afraid if the law is implemented, it might affect the artists more than benefits them. I don't know any proofs to those. Okay. I don't know any proofs to those statements. I'm usually distracted by but thank you for joining and all your contributions. But just comment, I want to read and continue. Yes, so I understand that. But as an artist now, taking from that cap to now an artist, I know these challenges. Sometimes I put in a music that I think I could use, and then I put it on YouTube, they say, take it down. Or I give it to EU, they said, why did you use this music? Now, what we did as State of Mike, going back, is we buy music online that we have 100% rights to.
Exactly.
We do that. Now, any other thing we do, we make sure we have 100% rights to, so that the person that we are giving the product will never come back to say, okay, we wanted to put it this way, but so and so person said we cannot use his face there, or this song cannot go there. Big fan on Gifts from Babylon, we use his song New Tefarko in the beginning. He said, yeah, it was fine since it's a Gambian music we are promoting. When the film started going around the world, he said, no, it's no more fine. You guys have to pay me so much amount because your film is traveling all over the world. We ended up paying him because we don't want future troubles. The film will go somewhere and they say, no. So we respect copyright. And people that are coming into the industry should respect it too. As far as the institutions are making it difficult, as far as the people that should set up a copyright society, is lacking, we should up our game. Upping our games in for investing money to get these songs. I always contact J-Live. Sorry, let me just end it here. J-Live, the music producer, he gets the minimum $10,000 for a song of maybe 2 minutes, beats. But when I use that, nobody can tell me bring it down because we have, okay, Alani said we have the same issue with Madagascar in Somalian Coast. We use those musics to make sure nobody can ever tell us copyright this or copyright that. So those issues, like Madam Fatih here that is just texting. I am about to do the documentary I'm doing. I am collaborating with him to do the sound for me, the sound design and everything. I own 100% those rights. When I put it anywhere, nobody will tell me where did you get these songs from. So it's not advantage. It's people take their jobs more serious than others, and you cannot blame one institution for the other. Yes.
You're just saying. Kalilu and I just discussed this before we came, and if people were watching or you were here, you might have seen Surah with his Kora.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, the same time that Kalilu had you, he had King Kora, and King Kora Kalilu played King Kora's music. And I told Kalilu, we have so much experience in this. I told Kalilu that YouTube is going to take this out because of that song. I told you when you bring artists now, because of all this copyright infringement, make sure they sing for us or a cappella the song live rather than playing the music. When he did because of the King Kora song, YouTube take that out, and I had to screenshot the email from YouTube and send it to Kalilu. But because he's new into this, he had to learn from it, and today he told Surah Suso to actually make sure that he comes and he sings for us live. Alaji is working. I am working.
There was an instrumental, and this instrumental was in a movie. YouTube have to write to you because they even brought the content to say Showbiz in Focus with Kalilu Banja. This song was composed by King Kora, but CD Baby is the one that beholds the copyright. And because the song was in a movie, so they tried to find out.
When I had this conversation, after you finished the show, immediately I called you and I gave you the tip. We talked about it. I told you don't be surprised if either YouTube or Facebook pulls it down or they call it. Less than 1 hour.
We are closing into the time that the show should end. That is 10 o'clock. So I want to say something. As I said, this is not an interview for us to know state of mind or Babu Karamanka. We are hoping somebody is watching that they can learn.
Exactly.
Give us a bidding process that you think is not fair because people cannot meet the criteria. And I tell you, state of mind can do it before tomorrow.
No, that I know for sure.
Yes. Now, what I'm telling you guys is, if you want to have advantage in this industry, build on your advantage. What is your edge? Our edge is capacity and ability to analyze and tell your story in a way that other people might not be able to do. Give you context.
So what you are saying, you have good writers?
We have the complete team. That's what I'm saying.
You have good management. You have all the registrations, the necessary registrations.
All the necessary.
And then you go out. You have a marketing team also, and you go out.
No, we don't do marketing team. We don't have that.
You don't have a marketing team. And
then all marketing. Everything that is business is Alani Maka. And he's enough.
At least you have a structure that is there.
No, he is enough in marketing. He knows how to do it. He will do that on WhatsApp.
I said this to Alaji. He came here and we sat down and I said it to him. I said, you must diversify and leave certain things. Just like you said earlier, you have a team, but broaden the team. Marketing is important.
The team is broadened.
Yes, accounting is important.
What I told you guys earlier.
Accounting, baby. But anyway, I appreciate what you said, and it's very important you break it down. You are saying we have a complete team. Instead of saying it, can you just repeat that to the people who actually need it? Like you said, this is to educate the people who are actually in the business to know this is what you need, this is what you need, so that you can educate them to know that these are the requirements for you to have to be able to succeed in that realm or institution.
Now, these things, it's better for Alaji to answer this question, but I'll attempt.
So Alaji is watching, but Alaji is watching.
Now,
but
let me try. Let's say EU. EU is our major employer. The EU contract, the requirements, it's 500, 400 page book. You have to read everything and memorize everything. You have to. Alaji spends months reading those things, and when he is ready, he comes and tells me 7 things. We need to be able to do this, and I go back home, read EU websites, read these books, and understand how do I communicate this. As a communications person, I am studying journalism. Alaji is not studying journalism. The reason I am studying journalism is to understand information, how to get it, how to develop it, how to analyze it, and how to present it. When we are ready, we have all the journalists, we have all the cameramen, we have editors, we have also people that come on occasionally to develop these things for us. That we hire occasionally, not permanent staff. We have lawyers that we contact for legal issues and stuff like that. But you cannot claim, you cannot say you are serious about somebody giving you millions of dollars. If Alaji was okay with me telling you some of the budgets, minimum EU pays us is 50,000 euros per year.
Exactly.
Why would they give you that without trusting your ability to manage their funds?
Exactly.
So you should respect yourself enough to have staff that you pay properly. I cannot travel out of the country at certain points without informing Alaji and Alaji informing EU that some parts of our team will not be available. So certain jobs that you need will not be. We cannot do it at this point. So that establishment, all your documents have to be regularized. Your staff, you need to pay them certain amounts. You need to their social security and all this
and visibility.
Yes, you cannot be a media house and expect people to give you millions. It's not possible. One person with one camera with one tripod, you have no lawyer, you have no prosecutor, you don't pay your taxes. You expect somebody international where they have to report back to Brussels where all these books are going. You expect them to give you the jobs and you claim advantage, they give an advantage to other media houses. It's not.
Yeah.
I want to say this. Babukar or Kalilu, in my view, it not be specific to either state of mind.
No.
Let me say for EU, right? But we are talking about the problem in Gambia in general when it comes to these things, bidding processes and stuff. We hear it all the time. Just last year, I have received about 3 claims, some of which has to do with agriculture, some has to do with even the license plate, the Gambia license plate, where stakeholders or people that were informed felt that the process was done pre-calculated, where the people responsible already have a particular institution in mind to give it to, but they wanted to suppress the orders by coming up with certain requirements or delaying the process. In my view, that's how I am processing it. And they did not come to me. They came to me as a media house to actually lodge a formal complaint. So this is a general issue in Gambia.
Yes, it is a general issue. Now, as I said, this show is for us to learn. Is it breaking? I'm still here. Are you hearing me?
You are good. You are good.
Yes, it's a general issue. It's for us to learn. Every year when we are bidding, Alaji will tell me, EU don't want me to give me this job. Every year. I'm just giving EU as an example so that people can understand the context.
Yeah, Uncle Badu is saying, if you are good, your work does the talk for you. You don't have to promote it and market. So
yeah, we don't market. As I said, we limit our jobs. If we have 50 people telling us we want you to work for us, maybe we take 15. Because we want to concentrate and make sure each one that we do it right. I don't know if you understand. So it's better than doing everyday works. Like this month, January, February, I took so many jobs that people are telling me you're no more reliable because I am not able to give them the time I need for that. And I don't like that. So we try to avoid that. We sleep as much as we need. We do vacations as much as is needed so that when we come back to work, we do it right. But now that what I'm telling you, anytime we apply for jobs, we have specific people that will just wake up and one day and tell you, text you right now, article so and so, this thing, why didn't you meet it? And I will go and not sleep the night. He can do that because he's a fan of money, he's a businessman, he's used to looking for money. I don't have that patience. But he ends up getting the job. Then they make life difficult for you to see, do you have the persistence to continue? Do you have the commitment? Now, if you're a businessman and you are not ready to go through that route, We're going to get some jobs, but it's not going to be large-scale jobs.
Babakar, the moral lesson here, the moral lesson here, if I can come, the moral lesson here is that all what you are talking about, you have a role to play. Manka have a role to play. Someone else has a role to play. And then it's all state of mind. That professionalism is what we are talking about. That in the artistic field, there is one form of discipline that have to be there, that is teamwork. No one person can be able to do it. So you need a professional team behind you to be able to make the work done.
Yes.
And we agree about that. And then in that way, that will make the things work out for us. Now,
okay. I want to add one more moral lesson. It's two more. Be serious if you're into business. Be persistent, because people will try to break you.
Exactly.
We have people that tells you, we don't want you to get this job, and we are going to make your life is so difficult for you. You don't get the job. We prove so hard, they make it difficult for themselves to deny us the job. I don't know if you understand. So now, media houses to try that too.
Exactly.
If you tell us we don't want you to be here, we prove to you that you cannot do. You must have us, because nobody else can do it better, because we give you all the necessary documents and qualifications. So that's all I'm saying.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. It's all about the commitment and also dedication. Commitment and dedication.
I want to say that I wish we diversify this to some extent. Because I'm saying this because I see this as a great problem in Gambia, this issue of bidding. I just said earlier that sometimes last year I had 2 or 3 complaints. One of them had to do with agriculture and the way the distribution of fertilizer was given, and these are people in the agriculture sector who were complaining about this and how it was done. I told you about the licensing issues, like license plate, and the people making it, how stakeholders thought that process wasn't fair. The same thing we talk about the ID card, our national document being given to Simlex and all these other this thing like Draman's company and stuff. So this is a general problem in Gambia, where we need to look at it holistically and not only like on the side of the media or one institution being able to do it and the others are not. It is not only those that are delivering, for example, you saying State of Mind or you saying any other media institution. It should also, we should also talk about NYOM. Contracts.
Rajimanga is saying Kalilu Banja, State of Mind is the only media house in the Gambia, TGG, employed more than 15 professionals, professional people. Most media houses in the Gambia is a one-man media house. So I call them the briefcase organizations.
Yes.
A briefcase organization is only one person having all the documentations, putting it on his briefcase and walking with it in the street. And if you have a briefcase organization, it doesn't work. So we are extending this into the creative sector, because the reason is the creative sector is multi-sectoral. It is multifaceted. And the multifaceted nature of the creative sector, you know, requires for us to work in a team. So that is.
I want to ask Babukar this before he does this. Babukar, do you believe that corruption is very implemented in Gambia when it comes to these processes? And I'm not specific here to any institution or any.
I understand. There is so much corruption, and we are all victims of that corruption. Everybody has a team you like to work with. Sometimes this team gives you commission, and you make sure you become the stumbling block for all these other guys that will not give you commission, and you get this job. And we are all victims of that.
And we must
Now listen. Sometimes you attack, sometimes you defend. As much as you're defending from these guys that are trying to eat from you, you also need how to attack. And the best way to attack is to improve your skills and capacity and make it difficult for them not to be able to deny you. Because there are so many times that they try to deny us, but we know how to attack, and because we have been attacking right, we've been getting the right jobs. But corruption is very, very eminent in the Gambia. We are not attacking that.
Yes, And that is very important because we cannot sideline that fact that corruption is embedded into the system, and it makes it very impossible because koto you see bari who are responsible for these things suñ lekute doing that, and they only look at the people fu ñoo mëna lekke ñaarel pour mëna make this happen, and they will actually make
Babakar Manga, yes, I know we are coming to the 2-hour mark. Uncle Baru is saying Gambia is holistically a disaster zone since independence. I think that is a big statement. We will not dwell on that, but we understand what he is really trying to say. Pa Usman Diouf, corruption is everywhere, from office of the president to the beggar in the street. I will just give you Babakar Manga. Sometimes when I think about these issues, and I think about the professionalism that we are talking about. I mean, there was a time we got funding from Mandimori Foundation for Performing Arts, got funding from the Danish NGO Forum. They established a pilot music incubation center in the Gambia, which was for free, and they gave scholarship to 20 students. After 2 years of implementation, we thought that we need to come with a resource mobilization festival, which is called the Regakunda Festival. And all the money that were spent on the Regakunda Festival, you, Babukar, should be able to know about it. They pay you as a production team, and they pay the music, the center that is providing backline and musical instruments, which is costing us nothing less than $250,000. But there is no company in the Gambia. We are talking about professionalism. There is no company in the Gambia that even came to the aid of the of that establishment, which is attracting more than 2 million Gambian dollars outside the Gambia. But in the Gambia, it is not attracting that because the network is not a composition of the people who are responsible for some of the corporate social responsibility funds that are available in the Gambia. So you can see when you dilate on the issue, someone can call you a hater, and someone can call you so many things.
And me, I will say it.
You worked at Kate. You were not. Okay. Let me not use Kate, but you've worked with institutions. Have you ever looked at the markets? You have your product. You know who can do it best, but you have a legal requirement that says you should advertise your product. And then you tell the person that you want to do the job, we have this bidding, we have these requirements, but give me 2 invoices or 2 proposals from other companies so that I can satisfy my criteria, but I want you to do the job. I, as an individual, I have given people services, and I have done that. So I am corrupt. Have you ever done that? Pausman, have you ever done that? Let's assess ourselves.
Okay, you respond, Kalilu.
I am the one asking questions. Paos, come.
No, let's assess. Where is the problem? It's everywhere.
I will answer.
Sorry, the reason why I'm asking this is the reason why I'm asking this is because when we know that there is a problem, you don't wait until the problem is fixed before you move on. Sometimes you need to maneuver with the problem. How can you strategize yourself, strategically position yourself in a way that this problem is not going to affect your business?
Okay.
You will not fall into their traps.
Yeah, but again,
because
but again, Babukar, Kalilu, I'm here there, and I'm part of Manimor. Yes, Babukar.
I know the issue, though we address it holistically. Babukar asked a question. I like the fact that you have showed your journalism skill to say that you are the boss here, you are the one asking the question. But exactly. This question, you sound guilty. Are you guilty of this thing? No,
I'm not guilty because Babukar knows very well. There was a time, I will tell you this. There was a time, a fund of over 2 million Gambian dollars came to Mamfopa. My boss was on a travel leave, and then 5 people in my office. They were all part of a film project that was done for one Swedish company. I was the program officer in the office. I don't even have an idea of the film because it was not my area. Alaji Manta came with his team, and they were claiming for their money from my boss. But I told Alaji Manka, what can I say? There is nothing I can say because I don't even know that there is a film going on. So we have people who are doing that. That is not my role. And
I'm just telling you, but you have information.
Okay, let me answer the Babukar. I will tell you this. Billahi, wallahi, tallahi. I have never done this. Not in Gambia and not here. And anybody with record, let them prove it. So this is a Gambian Talents TV. This is exactly the reason. The last thing that came up is few months ago, and I will use this opportunity because all my time, a lot of people have reached out to me. This media house, is from the government. The $15 million that was given to the media. I deliberately refused to apply for that fund. When it came, our colleagues in the online media, what they are doing, some who we even have a bigger ratings than and everything, went to apply for this fund. The minimum they get is $250,000. Some get 320, some 400 and something thousand. We would have gotten nothing less than 250,000 or more. I and my team and I refused to apply for this funding because of this. I have evidence. Yala, that's my busy lady. That because if you look at that proposal and that application, what they are asking for, there is no way you can get the type of money that those institutions get without lying on that form. And because the new pen law, because they set us up for failure, I deliberately refuse to apply for these things. Man, the credibility of Gambian Talents and myself is very important to me, and I've inculcated this in my institution. A lot of corporate companies in Gambia will not work with Pa Usman or Gambian Talents because of things like this. We have been in situation where an institution wanted to give us $1.something million, and the person told me he has to get 10 or 15% of this, and I said no. Not long ago, there was a particular institution in Gambia that's giving out funding. They came to us and brought their process. We applied and everything, and we benefited from it. Few days later, there one of their people who was responsible for this came to me and sent me a message. Said, I see you have this for the longest, and all the other people have given me my kurusango, and I didn't get any kurusango from you. I told him, we don't give any kurusango, not a dime. Not a single putu kurusango to anybody. What is you? So Tigatal, let it be proven. Nobody, no institution in Gambia. The limota corporate institution don't deal with Gambian talents. Mota Gambian talent neka. I care offer real estate companies. Yet to corruption because they did something. I start investigating them. They want to patronize me, want to offer me a plot of land for me to set up so that I don't live in co. Every cell, let me say this, my alaula. 4 years ago, they lost over $4 million, and putting you alaji me said I'm problem. Why? Because I wrote a story on them with them being very corrupt in taking megabytes from people. I mean, this thing without kujenda megabytes. Let's say the labor set, agenda $25, nafeka for $5 or $10 it use local. I did investigation and wrote a story on this. Official apologized to the Gambian public and returned over $4 million to the Gambians. They don't want to do with Gambian Talents or myself and several other institutions I can mention. Not because they don't see potential with us, but because of the integrity that we have established. So Sigat Al-Babukar, I refuse to, and Gambian Talents refuse to be part of this. And anybody with a proof, you can bring it. There is none whatsoever who will bring it.
You refuse to take those monies, but you are begging for money online every day. Some boy be like,
I will gladly beg because nañu askan bi ñoo defal jox seen $5 yeeg $10 yeeg seen $5 yeeg $20 yi ñu dem serve ñoom seen public seen interest than you them to serve the interest of a particular corrupt institution in the Gambia. We would rather serve the masses and be dealt with by the masses, and we continue to survive with or without those companies or institutions. And we are growing by the day, and I think that is clean. Thank you.
So anyway, our expert is here, Babukar Manka.
Yes. So now, as I said, every question, I am always thinking about the person that is listening to this and wants to learn something from it. From what Pa Usman is saying, he is right. I used to think like that. And the reason why I have changed a little bit of that, is I have segmented Bab Karmanka into different folds. There is Bab Karmanka, a journalist. I will never do some of the things that I do at State of Mind as a journalist when I'm wearing my journalism cap. I hardly wear my journalism cap, but that's what I study. I told you very well when we are beginning this show, Babu Karmanka is working for political parties. State of Mind will never work for a political party.
Exactly.
Because we are a business, we are an institution, we don't want to be associated with certain things. But I, as a person, I have segmented myself into different areas. When I'm doing documentary, I am 100% professional. Nobody can tell me to lie or X, Y, and Z. But when Kalilu comes and tell me, I want you to make people believe that gay rights should be respected in the Gambia, and you pay me and I accept your job, my beliefs are no more important.
Exactly.
Exactly. I do your job right.
Exactly. I like that. Yeah.
It's business. And I do it right as a professional. When I go online, I can diss what you are doing. You understand? But when I turn on my camera on you, you are the best person, and what you are saying is the most right thing.
It's the right thing. Exactly.
But somebody that is listening to Pa Usman. If you are a journalist, you should think like Pa Usman. Be ethical. Don't do corruption. If you are a businessman, know when to strike the balance. Listen. If you are a businessman, know when to strike the balance.
I agree with him. I agree with him. Know where to strike the balance.
No, but go ahead.
Know where to strike the balance. I think I have seen institutions suffering from that, and then most importantly, it happens to the music union before. When I was coming there, like the people who were there, they were not ready to open their horizon. So they were just with the belief, the first people, we were the founders. We are the ones who organize the music union. We are the ones who do this and that. But I said, okay, you need to involve the female musicians. You need to involve the traditional musicians. You need to involve. So because in that way, you can be able to, I don't know how to call it. You can be able to broaden your membership, because the more people that you have, then the better force that you have, and representation that you have.
I want to, if we are talking about, if we are very serious about what we are doing, we want to see a new Gambia. I will definitely strongly disagree with Babukar and yourself, because there is no balance to strike here, in my view. You are one person and you cannot be 2 or 3 people. And in my view too, you will confuse people, because Babukar Manka is Babukar Manka, whether Babukar is a State of Mind, Babukar as an individual, Babukar as a director, Babukar of whatever person. The way people see you, especially in Muslim society, and this is every society, but more so for our society, they look at you holistically. And that is why every comment you make, everything you do should represent, when you are a public figure especially, people listen to you, people watch you. Limbuga Gismoy, Babukar Mankamuren wa jump, and they will jump. They will not ask Babukar, they will only ask Babukar how high. Jump. Just because Babukar say it, they will jump. They will not, they will only ask him, how high do you want me to jump? And I think this corruption and these things need to be eliminated, eradicated, and taken out of our system. It doesn't matter who it is, whether you are the journalist, whether you are the person working at this institution, that institution, because that money you are taking does not belong to you. And a lot of people and stuff, opportunity, they should have been able to benefit from it, but it will only continue to be in one small circle. Very few people continue to benefit, and that is why poverty is very high in the Gambia. It doesn't matter who it is, whether Pa Usman, whether Babukar, whether Alaji Manka, or whoever. We must learn to do things right and sometimes take ourselves out of it. As a businessman, Manlawa, companies you know, Timan, or at Gambian Talents, it's not that they don't come. Proposals come, but there is no company I work with that we don't establish this. I can do PR for you, no problem. But develop PR doesn't mean you will continue to take advantage of people and I'll be meat over it or continue to this thing. If you do wrong, duma ñëw rek attaque la ne da nga def wrong. If you are a real estate company, for example, and you are yaa ngeen nax Gambian si di leen nax di jël xaalis seen loxo as to di leen promise mun naa la jaay a 100-meter plot of land, you go and give them 75 meters and you take their other 25 meters for the longest. You take money from people without delivering. If I hear a story or a complaint about you, we will independently come and verify and follow all the necessary steps to actually come to you, come to hear your side of the story, and we try to report a fair and balanced story. But doing talk like because yola yang ñoo jox xaalis ñu meet over it, yaa ngi rey the average Gambian, you are taking advantage of people and we meet about it, or instead we even come put Dakar's image. I know it might sound dumb to quite a bit.
It's not dumb. It's not dumb, pa.
No,
I used to think,
and I take great pride in doing it, and I don't see myself changing it. And finally, this is the same principle. Let me say this final, this is the same principle why when I interviewed Mustafa Njai of Top Africa Global, he asked me to change the name of my show, Lutah Gambia, to them, because his belief is Gambia and he will sponsor me immediately. And I told him with all due respect, that name will never change, inshallah, unless the reason Lutah you call my Gambian to change. If not, we will continue to do it. You will not.
Can I say my concluding remarks?
Wow. You are absolutely right, Babu Karmanka. Babu, yeah?
Now, can I say my concluding remarks?
Yeah, Nicola.
But let me just say on this point, Babu Karmanka is very much more than one person. The Babu Karmanka that is online, that is complete exposure of what I believe, my belief system.
Exactly.
That is very different when I'm a journalist. This documentary that I'm doing, I keep getting reference to it. One of the major criteria of it, one of the major issues with it, is I am investigating my most important client, one of my most important clients at State of Mind. They still give me job today. Tomorrow I go and investigate them in that documentary. When they told me no, there are things, can you allow us to stage it to you to make it look better? I tell them no. Then I am a journalist. The next day when they come and tell me, this is where you're investigating here, and now we're giving you a job to show how good we are. I wear my entrepreneur cap, a PR cap, and make them look the best. Because when I am behind your camera as a PR guy, I am your client. You are my client, and my job is to make you look good. When I am a journalist, my job is to check you. I am very, very different, and I have no shame in separating the Babu Karmanka that is a journalist, the Babu Karmanka that is online saying nonsense, and the Babu Karmanka that is a PR guy. Anybody that hires me, this is online. Anybody that hires me to prove any agenda, if as far as you are in front of my camera, you are the best human being on earth. Outside that, if it's my job as a journalist to investigate you, I'll investigate you without. If I wanted to be corrupted in that documentary, I would have been corrupted a long time ago, and there were so many means. These are more powerful than me. These are international agencies. I don't even understand. They work with me till tomorrow. But when it was time to investigate them, I investigated them without anybody stopping me. But I still do their jobs and do it right for them.
Babukar, I just want to break this down. Babukar, I just want to break this down. Powers, I think we are all establishing the same facts. And I like the fact that Alaji Manka is saying, but Usman, you've been a journalist is different from doing a PR job. So don't confuse your viewers. I think, Powers, you know that already. I will take Babukar, I will tell you one thing. Being a multimedia personnel, and then you are a journalist at the same time. I know there are some equipments that you will be able to know that an ordinary journalist who is working at Point newspaper will not be able to know. Because, for instance, if you want to interview somebody, but again you want to enhance the interview moment, there are gadgets that you can put together because of your capacity to be able to do that and to do it professionally. But as someone who is just going to conduct a one-on-one interview with someone and then just write a story will not be able to do something like what you are going to do, because what is happening here is because of capacity difference. So your capacities are quite different. You can be able to take, for instance, you'll be interviewing somebody like a journalist and a multimedia personnel. You can even have a pen stick that is having like a video.
I know those things.
Yeah, you can even have a glass that is having a video.
This same institution that I'm telling you, this same institution, when I wanted to get to them at a certain point and they refused, I planted recording devices to my clients to get the certain information.
Exactly.
I can't be sued. I don't know if you understand. I can't be sued by them if they had known. But my information that I'm putting as a journalist is more important to me than all this money that they're giving me.
Exactly.
So when that is finished, I have to go back to my PR job to survive. And the reason why State of Mike, they say State of Mike has advantage over everybody, we know the business. And we know that it's these PR jobs that is making it easy for us to do these things that we love. The documentary I'm doing right now is I love it to the core. I am doing it as an artist, as a professional, with ethics, 100% ethics. But I would never have been done it if I was going home hungry, if my salary was not paid properly, if all these resources were not there, if I didn't have the right company. So it's my PR jobs that is serving me to get the right equipment to be able to give these people that I am doing what I love for. I can get the equipment and the time and everything for that. But Bab Karmanka is probably 10 different people.
Exactly.
And I accept that as a person. I don't expect everybody to understand that, but I accept that as a person. I know very well when I am called as the PRO of Filmmakers Association, when I am called as a journalist, when I am called as a filmmaker. I know the difference, and you will see a whole different Babka. Very different Babka.
I just want to say this, right? You see, in as much as we are businessmen,
yes,
man, America la neka, for any reason I have seen how corporations and people actually work and handle business, and aggressively for that matter. But I also know we have a corporate social responsibility in different aspects. Then law hamne, it's where we come from, what we know, and we have a responsibility towards society. If Babukar wants to tell me that if he wears a PRR, anybody could job anything for sell any agenda he will, which would have included Al Qaeda ñoo Gambia, wax gaay ne képp ku nekkut muslim wala anybody you see si mbedd mi mu sol cangal jël leen ngeen rendi ko nga seet ëllëg ndax duñ rey suma sister suma mag wala sa sister wala kenn sa mbokk yi wala ñu
don't take things out of my brother.
Sikkingam déedéet képp ku bàyyi sikkimam nga seet ndax maa Kalilu duñ rey right now yaa ngi bàyyi sa sikkim bi but nga seet ndax
don't take things out of proportion.
ñene la
Don't take things out of proportion.
It's not out of proportion. But
let me create context. Go back to the last 12 years of Babakar Manka doing. You will never see any unethical communication. Even if I'm working for people that I don't believe their agenda, I make sure I present it in a way that it is ethical.
Exactly.
Even if I don't believe in their agenda. You will never see hate speech in anything that I do. People, I put cameras on people that put hate speech. Now listen. Because I believe it is in the best interest of my clients for them also to look like fools, and it's fools that is going to communicate some of these ideas you are saying.
Exactly.
So now tell me that anybody that doesn't have certain belief they should be killed, that is a fool. And I will not, as a professional, I will not want my client to look like a fool. Yes, so I will advise you that if you want to communicate this, these are the ways you should take. No matter your belief. If you are my camera, my beliefs about you is no more important.
Yeah, no, Babukar. I'm outright believe in gay rights. But I'm not I bossy gay, I'm not doing gay rights, but gay do not, I don't subscribe to, I'm becoming a gay or lesbian. But you know, I work with gays, I work with lesbians, and I've had a very good relationship with gays and lesbians. So no, munna to understand, but there is a boundary, there is a level to which I can interact with them or to what I am going to do with them to remain professional. But here, ñun in media, we are very powerful. And limala wat ni, man, I have done things I need. I have done things that broke people, and I've done things that made people say aduna doxe ci baax de faw. And I don't joke with that. We as the media, when we let me say this, Ma'alaula, when we talk into three people. Those who know way more than you, those who are at the same level with you, and those who you know way more than. And you need to be able to accommodate all these three people. I don't question your intelligence, your credibility, and things you do. But ninyo wahe amna kuko dega, the person will go and believe that, well, if you are a businessman, anything that comes your way, regardless of ethics or whatsoever, you need to accept whatever they're telling you and sell it for them. Fonga wahag nyonyu, I'm going to break down further. When I gave the example, before you gave that example, or before I gave my perspective, another person would have heard what you said, and then mugom ne keep up new in the business like lumla wax ne jay ko dan ko wara jay lumla wax ne def ko dan ko def, and that could have.
Now, can I give you an example?
Okay.
Can I give you an example? We have a partner, the people that did the Gifts from Babylon. We have another project to do films about gay rights. A gay that came back to the Gambia. I told them my belief system, even though the film will sell more than Gifts from Babylon, my belief system cannot allow me to participate in this. I don't know if you understand.
One of our key partners told us to work on a LGBT video.
But we didn't do it because of our moral. When I'm not saying anybody can come and just I accept it. But I will not judge you. I don't judge when you are my client. I don't know if you understand. I can decide the kind of jobs I take and the kind of jobs I will not take. But when I take your job, no matter how much of a devil you are, I will make sure I present your story in a way that will be convincing. I don't know if you understand. If Yaya came to the Gambia tomorrow and said he wants to tell people why reconciliation is more important than justice, I will make a convincing video, and before I make the video, I have to believe it first. I have to pitch myself and understand why reconciliation is more important, and I implement it in my videos.
Exactly.
There are examples I cannot give. There are examples I cannot give because of certain clients. I respect them, but those things have happened. I've worked with very critical people. They say certain crazy things in my camera. They never come out. They never come out. The Faraba incident, Faraba, when those people were killed, footage came to my desk. When if I had to put in front of the camera, Gambia can go down online, and I had to show it. They were my clients, but I am audited and edited. I have filtered things down, but I have an extent I can go. My opinion as Babakar Manka has limitations when I'm doing jobs that I'm paid for. When I am doing jobs because I am a journalist, I am wild and I'm a rebel, and everybody knows that. You understand? The people that I did this from Babylon with, we fought furiously because of one thing, one word or things that they want to add to the film. I'll tell them these are not Gambian beliefs, and it will not make it to the film. We fight hard, but in the end, we made a video. We made a film that is successful around the world. So, because that is my product. I don't even understand. Like example, I don't want to make reference to any client. Example, when we are doing an FGM video, my job is to tell people FGM is bad, and I believe FGM is bad. But sometimes an imam comes and tells you, the prophet said, Jalal Tuti.
Wow. That's what I was talking about.
Why don't we teach people how to Jalal Tuti? My client tells me, if my client tells me, we don't want to promote that Jalal Tuti because people will not be verified for more Tuti and for more Opa. I deleted from the video because the client is the boss.
Exactly.
I'm like, this FDM is bad. But if I was a journalist, imagine Imam Bilung Wahne Jalal Tuti, but at that point, I'm not a journalist, I'm a PR guy. That's the balance I'm saying. but don't take it to the extreme.
Well, I'm glad that we are at this level now, Kalilu. There are 3 different people listening to us, and we need to be able to accommodate all 3. So we are serious about creating awareness and educating people. And then now, them the further. If I did not provoke what I provoked in Babukar, them just these examples, a lot of people would have literally took what he said.
No. I think it's
I think I understand him at that level. Even this level also. Maybe other people outside, like you said, Babukar, we are just breaking it down. Maybe other people will not understand you. Like I said, even before, like talking about Jalal Tuti Bobunono. Now, man, I have a different interpretation. When the Prophet was living, he just lived for only 40 years. If he could have lived for 60 years or 70 years, maybe when he knew about the health hazards that are related to the practice, he could have said, don't do it. Nobody can predict that. He could have said, don't do it. So, Kenen Munna Agiu Lulunono, and then because Luther Prophet be smoking cigarette or drinking alcohol is bad because of the that they contribute to deteriorating your health conditions. Topic music. We are just trying to bring all these things. Understand. Now, the way you analyze things, you need some extent of professionalism to be able to do that. And a multimedia company like a State of Mike is doing that in the Gambia, and that is the reason why I'm getting your personnels on this platform, so that the people can know that the things you are doing and accomplishing is because of your professionalism, and you working as a company, as an organized team, as a body that that are able to accomplish works, and that is the reason why you are moving on. And that is the reason why we want you to share your knowledge and ideas and experience with us, so that other people can learn from that and they can do the same things. Yeah.
Example. I know I might get in trouble for saying this because for professional reasons I don't have to say it. But everybody knows my relationship with UDP and all politicians in the Gambia, with Barrow and UDP and everybody. I attack from all directions. Sometimes I just do it for fun. Sometimes I do it out of passion. When I was contacted to do their communications, I made sure to my clients, I told them, I am not part of this. I am not part of this party that you are bringing. I am a politician. I will never be part of any political party. But I will help you communicate. There are 2 kind of people that come sit in front of my cameras. So I would say there's one kind of people, because before I actually give you a camera, I check, will you make things, say progressive things? Exactly. If you are going to tell people that we are going to light up this country, you will never be in front of my camera, because I don't believe that. But your agenda, if you are the best party, if you are not the best party, your agenda, I look for things I believe in, and everything. Like recently, I made a documentary for them. Every word there, I believe in as Bab Karmanka, 100%. I went into their midst. I have seen some qualities, and those are the qualities that convince me, and I put it in the video so that it can convince the likes of me. I don't know if you understand. So now, ethically, I am growing them to change, because I am putting progressive communications into their progressive messages into their communication, and it will filter down, even if it was other party like APRC, the kind of bad information that they publish. So it is working for my clients, but my ideas of them or whoever history is no more important when you are in front of my camera. You are the best person, you are the best party when you are in front of my camera. But what ends up in the video, I have to believe in it. And if I look into you, I'll see something good in you. And us filmmakers, now this is a little bit on film psychology. When you are writing scripts, Kalilu was asking about film psychology. We don't believe there's any bad people in the world. will think there are people that enough of them are not heard of. People that their stories is not justified. Now, the critical part is when you contact when you talk to Yaya Jammeh, TRRC and all these governments, they tell you very good reasons why they were doing what they were doing. Sana Sabali said the reason why he killed all those people because they wanted to kill him, they had a document. So he was a devil before he came to TRRC, but when he justified, he became an angel. So that is our policy also in film. We don't believe there are bad people. We believe there are people that doesn't have justification. Their story is not justified. So if I want to make Pa Usman look good, I justify what you are doing. And I look for good reasons why you did what you did. And I have to believe in it. Because it has to go from the heart for it to enter the heart. Do you understand? So this guy, Sana Sabali, for example, if I was to make a documentary out of him, he's an excellent guy for doing all the things he did. But if I was to make a documentary out of the victims, Sana Sabali is a devil. And I can make all these two documentaries, they will be very convincing. I don't know if you understand.
Exactly.
Who is paying me? If Sana Sabali hires me, I'll give you all the reasons why he did the bad things he did. Justification. If the victims hire me, I'll give you all the reasons why Sana Sabali did it outside the law. Justification. So in us, what is different is justification or not. Are you able to justify what you did or not? Nothing will tell you very well why he was doing all the bad things he was doing. But the people of India also. So now, my clients, as a PR firm, when you tell me I justify things you do, but before I put it there, I have to make sure so I believe in what you're doing. And I have looked at you with the most positive eyes to spot these things out. When you're wrong, I advise you.
I think it was very important that I provoke the thought I provoke in Babukar because it has actually helped us for him to go into details and put certain things in context for us. And something I want to bring out here for our people to learn from, because this is all new Gambia. What is happening with Manka and myself here, our Kalilu, we are having a conversation and a dialogue. And I want to encourage Gambians for us to get into these healthy things. If a lot of Gambians, if Kalilu was to invite them, or even in the entertainment or cultural sector, you want to invite two people that have two divergent views or dissenting views, they would not want to sit on the same platform because they disagree. Should we learn to agree and disagree with each other? I am very proud of Abukar. Honestly, I admire the young man, both of them actually, and their relationship. And I have a very good relationship with Alaji. But he knows, and Alaji knows, I have grilled Alaji on road and did very critical stories on Alaji. It has reduced nothing in my relationship with him. We are very good friends. We talk deep. We engage deep on a lot of secretive things probably. There might be things that I know about Alaji that I don't come out publicly to say. And the same with me. But that is at our personal level. But when I come to do this work, say to Makusuma Haridla, it does not make me not publish the story about him. If I have something to say about Alaji Lima Hamsimom in the past, Alaji Manka, I don't come and say it out. I come to him if somebody gives me information. This is what I'm presented about you. What is your reaction? And Alaji knows that. This is what I am told about you. And he knows when Pa Usman comes, Dinama Saga, Dinama Budil, Dinama whatever, but he knows that he must give me information. So much about information, I will publish what I'm giving about him. He knows that. And as a result, he's very proactive. Whenever I come to investigate him on anything, or I come to see his side of the story, he gives it to me. And this is the type of relationship that we should develop. Alaji knows more, and there are people who will convince him. People will tell Alaji, and a lot of people know why are you dealing with this guy when this guy is a more do this? But not everybody has that type of mindset. Not everybody has the type of mindset Babukar Manka has and others. And we should be able to realize that when we communicate to all the three different type of people that I said, whether Ninga Genaham, Nilgenaham, and Ninga Emal. We need to be able to communicate to all these three people. I think it's a very healthy conversation. I'm not sure where you want to go.
Yeah, Pa, I just want to say the creative sector is a multi-million-dollar sector. It is one of the most lucrative sectors in the world. You know, you can compare it to football. Even though football and basketball, they are mentioned in sports, they are mentioned in a lot of millions. But that is the same which is happening in the creative sector. Babukar Manka was talking about corporate contracts. That is, their company is entering into contracts with corporate companies to be able to sell their ideas and to be able to promote them. And they are making documentaries to be able to raise public awareness and also public education with regards to issues that are affecting people at our own level. And then they are doing reporting at the same time. They are doing reporting, they are doing monitoring and evaluation, M&E. This is very important. Like companies NGOs are implementing projects in Africa or in the Gambia, even Gambian NGOs. And then at the end of the day, they want to monitor, they want to evaluate. So they can hire a multimedia company to be able to go to their project sites and to be able to make a documentary of some of the existing projects that are happening. So what we are saying is that we need a kind of an institute that is going to be able to teach Gambians about multimedia so that we can be able to have a lot of personnel, as opposed to what we were saying also about the music sector, that we need an academy of music in the Gambia so that Gambians can be able to learn it from the get-go, even though we know that creative actors can be able to teach themselves. They can be able to do things on their own. But again, when you check it in the international world, you know, you have academies for this, you have schools for this, where people go to learn, and then they can be able to specialize. Some can be managers, some can be PR, some can be A&R, some can be so many things, photographers, and then, you know, some can be directors like Babu Manka. And I think that is the reason why we are talking about. Uncle Badu is saying creative sector is multi-million sector, true, but Gambia is small a market to generate multi-million dollars. Uncle, yeah, you know, Uncle is also.
I would disagree.
Yeah.
I would disagree with my uncle here. In the sense that I told you in the beginning that Sarah might start something, and then when people start coming to it, we trade the money and live on the other things. We are doing multi-million. It's not up to dollars, but we are doing multi-million dollars international projects at this point.
Exactly.
Less than a month ago, you saw Alaji buy a camera for, it's about $9,000. There's no need for our job that we are getting in the Gambia for that. I really understand. For the camera. Let me tell you. Now, where we are going is we want to penetrate the international market. We've tried, we have started something, but we are going further. And these multi-million dollars that Badu is saying, we cannot get it in the Gambia.
Yes.
But we can use Gambian content and sell it outside world and get these same amounts. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah, Babukar, he's saying an academy of music of university level, but you cannot jump from kindergarten level to university. But that is why we are saying we need a structure, at least. You know, there are people who are thinking about how to introduce music, film, drama, and acting and everything into our school curriculum. Because we all know that in the Gambia, we don't have a lot of things that we are producing. But again, so we need skilled personnel people that could be able to create. So in as much as we have the creative sector, whereby we have a strong culture, we have a rich cultural heritage, and then we could be able to create content, why not we develop that so that some people could be able to do that? Now we are seeing even girls are becoming camera ladies. They are holding cameras.
We have just want to say, I mean, Kalilu, that I agree with Babukar here 100% and differ with our Uncle Badu Job that yes, you may not have the market in Gambia to make multi-million dollars or euro projects, but you can actually definitely tell the Gambian story and produce Gambian content that can sell internationally and bring you those billions, because Gambia is as rich as any other country and have our stories that you can tell. So I agree with Babukar there 100%.
Exactly. Exactly. So that is the point. So the point here is when you're talking about professionalism, we are not just limiting it to the few who are doing it, but we have seen the benefits in which the creative sector could be able to generate or to be able to contribute to the socio-economic development.
Let me add this, like when it comes to market, Gambia plan to start to export in every sector, including the cultural sector. We must learn to start to export things, because they are multi-million dollars in anything. It's not only the product that they sell or services they sell locally, but they produce the product and the service locally, and they're able to sell it internationally and globally, and they're able to make those multi-million dollars in that sense. And Gambia too can actually produce things that we can export internationally, and by default, we will become part of that multi-million dollar sector. Babukar.
Exactly. Thank you, Babukar. Kalilu Banja, true, you need to start on primary level with creativity in school, as was happening in old times. Exactly. Uncle, yeah.
Now I am switching to the, because I thought I have 10 people. I am switching to my role as a PRO of Filmmakers Association. Right now, one of the things you are saying is one of our major concerns. We want to do so many things. We want to create film festivals. We want to take our films internationally. We want to do X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, I don't think, this is my personal opinion now, I don't think institutions they are important, it's very important. But at the end of the day, when it comes to artistic work, the individual is very, very, very important.
Exactly.
If we have the best institutions and we don't have good cameramen, we don't have good scriptwriters, we don't have good, what are we exporting? Garbage that we've been producing? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So we have limited professionals. We have people that know a little bit about so many things. But if I were to tell you to do one thing as a professional and do it to an international level standard, you might not be able to do it right. Because you know so many things, but you're not a professional in any of those things. This last documentary I was doing, I had a lot of challenge in doing it, because I was doing it as a cameraman, the sound guy, the writer, the director, the producer, because all these crews, now I'm doing the editing. I am supposed to hire somebody for it. There's a huge salary for that, hundreds of thousands for editing.
Your brother is saying, Babukar, it's important that we read the messages. I am very much, this is very important to me for hosting people like you. Our viewers are also important. Alajima is saying, but if we can't come together and work as one, it will take ages before we get those millions. For example, Mbebet is big today because of many stakeholders coming on board and produce a masterpiece.
Exactly. Now, Mbebet is a combination of a cameraman, a writer, and a good director that came to teach something. It was a good team, but there are things you want to do. You have to go from beyond certain things. I don't know if you understand. Like my genre, what I do every day is documentary. The documentaries people are used to in the Gambia are not the documentaries you can sell outside. We are used to corporate works, corporate documentaries. When I needed it, I had a challenge with getting the right crew, because everybody is only into music videos and corporate works. They didn't even understand the language we are using on set. I had to do it alone. I don't even understand. So now I'm going back to my cap as FPAC. Now what we're trying to do is, okay, within the past 2-3 years, I have gathered information from experts around the world. We are trying to step that down to people that have not benefited from that. I am trying to create some training programs, maybe around March or so, to teach people, at least so that even they're not great at it, let them be able to speak the same language as professionals.
Exactly.
As these professionals, because when I am sitting with these people and they're asking you questions, the language they speak is not English. I don't even understand. But you understand all these things before you can go forward. But because you are a cameraman, doesn't make you an international cameraman. You need to know this shot. If I take it from above and from below, what is the difference in language and communication? With this kind of light, it should everything be bright and all those communication. It's extensive. But no, I am only good at music video. I am good at wedding, and you are good enough for these things. Before, if let's start with my institution right now, the Film Producers Association was the best. we will never be able to export if Babakar Manka is not able to write the best scripts, if Alaji Manka is not able to shoot the best films, if we don't have the editors that are doing it right. Senegal are doing great because they have excellent scriptwriters, excellent actors, excellent cameramen. Right now, I have a film, 2 films that I've written and put it down. I am looking for a child actor. 12 years to 15 years, I've been looking for almost 1 year. The kind of child I want because we don't have professionals. Yeah. Who is calling?
So, Babakar, thank you so much for elaborating on that, and that gave us a little bit of an idea of how we are talking about, like, professionalism, the professionalism that we are talking about. And then we are glad to have somebody like you, and then we are glad that we are glad also that you are trying to translate what you are doing, you know, in your own way to educate the FPAC members. And I think as the PRO of FPAC, it would have been important, like, to get a lot of capacity building training programs to be able to train your members so that they can reach to that level. Again, in the cultural sector, sometimes you don't even need an academy to be able to be there. But most of the capacity building training programs that you do could be able to contribute a lot to your development. I think these are some recommendations that we can give to you and other organizations, arts associations that are in the Gambia. You know, Babukar is now, you push Babukar now, so he is talking. You know, maybe
I keep going out to drink water and come back.
he is talking, but again, we are 15 minutes to the 3-hour mark. Yes. And you know what? So
I am how do I say it?
But it's good that we are doing this because I hope people learn from it. Yeah. These discussions are important to everyone.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to say. I want to encourage everybody. And Kalilu, you and I had this conversation. Very abnormal in Gambia, or strange for people with divergent views to be able to come. It doesn't matter if you are 100 years, if you are 75 years, we can agree to disagree. I have disagreed with our Uncle Badujo. I must be able to say it with respect and say my different opinion. The same thing with Babukar. So we need to encouraging every Gambian to start to get used to this thing. Let's get used to this debate where we challenge each other with ideas and I mean things to be able to justify what we are saying.
I think
I admire him more. The more he talks, the more I admire him, and he's standing to his ground. And
so, but the thing is also, you know, we have a moderator. The moderator is not known. Like I'm an underground soldier, like Babukar. You know, the things about you know, we were, you know, a lot of people developed our capacity. We learned a lot from even them. When we traveled with Alaji Manka to Zimbabwe, I could not believe it. Alaji Manka had to naturally change me to a cameraman to get what he wants. And then when he just educate me in just 5 minutes and said, Kalilu, I don't have time, and we have to present this particular documentary just after the end of the closing remark. So just go to the conference room, and then you sort this part. But he organized the camera and said, don't move this way, don't move that way. Just go there, stick there for almost about 3 minutes. You ensure that you get all the parts because you're going to see it. And I came. When Alaji Manka published, after the opening remarks, he just put the documentary there. It was just a 15-minute like documentary of the whole conference of the United Nations Climate Change Summit in Africa, which was organized by UNECA. So Alaji Manka did that. And you know what? After that year, every UNECA conference on climate change, you know, Alaji Manka is there to do that.
Yes, I want to say this as we are closing. I mean, I admire the Manka brothers.
Yeah.
And for one, their professionalism. Two, they are trendsetters. There is no doubt about that. But what I like the most about them, I would encourage them not to change it. A couple of things. One, working together as brothers. In as much as we are family, a lot of times it doesn't work when we work together as families. I see their bond and what they're doing. So I want to encourage you to continue working together as a family, and regardless of what, to continue to do that. Number two, they understand their corporate social responsibilities in giving back to society. I've not dealt with Babukar in that aspect, but I've dealt with Alaki on that. And not only me, every media personnel in Gambia has a touch. It doesn't matter how big you are or small. State of Mike and the Manka brothers, I'm and I want to recognize that and encourage it. Just last week, I'm setting up the studio here in Washington. I did something last week, and in no time before my party, Alaji Manka sent a message to give me feedback on what I am doing. He gives out and volunteers knowledge and what he thinks can be done differently, free of charge.
Yeah,
this could have been consultancy work that he can charge for, but he wants to see things work and is willing to actually work with people regardless of your position. He has a good relationship with everybody, and this is not by extension, it goes to Babukar and everything else. Now that's where the collaboration comes in, unless and until we know that we can work together and that through this person develop is going to make me develop, and we have a healthy competition or relationship, we will not go far as a country. So I want to recognize the Manka brothers for the wonderful job they're doing in becoming trendsetters. I love their passion, I love their spirit, I love their work, I love the fact that they want to be trendsetters, and let them continue doing this. Babukar, I admire you, even though we disagree, but I admire you and I respect you a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, we are not disagreeing. We just see things from different perspectives, but we are not disagreeing. I agree with what you're saying, but I'm just suggesting to you other options. But I agree with what you're saying. I keep saying, let me always think about the person that's listening. Kalilu mentioned Aladi in
UNECA.
Yes.
UNECA.
Yes. When we in the beginning, maybe this is an example for me to tell you that. Whatever you are doing, specialize. All these things you are saying, we don't have great cameramen, we don't have, because I am an editor, I am a producer, I am a writer, I am a director, I cannot be expert in everything.
Exactly.
Instead of Mike, we specialize. This interview that we have for 3 hours, if you told us, let's make sure it is 2 minutes, we know what is most important. So when Aladi comes into a hall of politicians and NGO people talking, he knows the most out of that 3 hours, the most important 2 minutes. Within 10 minutes, we will be able to edit and present. And I have done those things 1,000 times. We did that in Ethiopia. We do that. That's what I keep doing for all these people that are here. You need to know what you are good at and work on it to make you so you are the best.
Exactly.
Whenever I walk in, I know what is the most important thing that is about to happen. I know which words should I use to convince people. That's our specialty. Now, if you want to be anywhere else, find your specialty. Be a cameraman, but be the best at it. You understand? Be an editor, but be the best at it. Our specialty right now at State of Mind is we can go into a boring place and translate the message in a way that it can be short, precise, and important and relevant.
Exactly.
And that is why we keep amazing you, but to us it's cheap things, it's easy things. Because we have studied that art and we've done it for so many years. And the other thing, what Pa Osman is saying, I said that in the beginning of the interview. Every day you come here and there's somebody new here coming to borrow equipment or learn from us, or actually give Pa Osman their studio. There were times that we used to go there to teach people how to use a selling studio and X, Y, and Z. Any audio media house in the Gambia that has set up between 2010 to now, we have directly or indirectly contributed to the capacity building of your staff.
Exactly.
Because we don't see anybody as a threat. Because what you think we are doing today will be very difficult, that you think you're emulating today, we have already transiting to move away from that. Today we are in corporate videos. Before you catch up with us, we're into other things.
Exactly.
So we're not afraid to teach you. We are not afraid to teach you what we know.
Exactly. Babukar, you know what I am learning from this. You know, what we are learning from this is that all what you are telling us, the areas that you are into, it relates to even in music, like a musician. A musician alone is a company. So this musician must have to be like presentable for the musicians to get there. So it's not only the performance side that is just going to give you money, but again, there are other things like you can do merchandise as an artist. The artist also you can enter into what you call like endorsements with companies. With you can represent as an ambassador for UNESCO or for a company or for a country, and then the language that you are going to speak when you are an ambassador for a particular organization, or you have an endorsement contract with a particular company, it's different from you as the artist that is on the stage there. But again, when you come to your product, and like for instance, your album, the way you are going to promote the album, you know, the things that you are going to do will be different. So it's just the same as the things that you are saying. So we are talking about the
It is the same, but there is a little bit of difference in the sense that if a musician wants to be all, he fails.
If a musician wants to
be everything, he fails. So that's why you see the best performers are not the best songwriters.
Exactly.
Specialize and be the best at what you want to, what you've chose to be your specialization. I don't know if you understand. Hire Kalilu because he knows how to get you into international events. Hire a songwriter or somebody that does arrangement. If you don't know music, hire somebody that can tell you, okay, these things you should do this. No, this thing that you are producing in an electronic studio, you need to put these things so it can be played in a live band.
Exactly.
That is your area. I am not so much into expert, but the reason why we don't have much professionals, the reason why we keep failing is because we want to be good at everything.
Exactly.
I have small ideas in every stage of production. But what I'm specializing, if you go to my house, what I'm reading, if you follow me, what I'm studying is how to write good stories.
Exactly.
How to make good stories. That's what I'm studying. I am not studying, that's why those are not the jobs I'm doing right now. By the day I'm good at it, I will not be doing all these things that I'm doing. But that's why I study every day. Storytelling. That's why I study day and night. And if I am good enough, I'll specialize in that. We need to specialize. People call me cameraman, people call me editor, people call me director. I'm not all of those things. I just use them as a tool to communicate my messages. But I am a messenger. I send messages.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Babukar. We are almost coming to the hour mark for 3 more, you know. So I just want you to give you, everybody will ask these questions. And I think you answered all the questions around that. What do you think the way forward for the creative sector? But again, you know, that will take us for another 5 minutes. But in short,
our summary, the creative sector, we need to develop the individuals, while we hope the government develop the institutions.
Exactly.
In case the government is ready now to put up the institutions, let's make sure we are ready as individuals, technically, financially, to be able to meet up the challenge.
Exactly.
Senegal is now growing so much with films and TV series that we are consuming every day because they saw a future and prepared for it.
Exactly.
Let us prepare ourselves for that future. Let us stop complaining about there's no opportunity, there's not this. Let's stop complaining and develop ourselves. I told you before and I'll tell you again. 90% of the things I am learning today, 90% of the equipments you will find in State of Mind, they're not for things we need today. We are preparing for opportunities that will come tomorrow. That is why when the opportunity come, we have advantage over every other person, because that is the time other people are chasing for capacity. But we have prepared ourselves. So
exactly. That is what Uncle Badu is saying. Specialize, yes, and make sure you are original, out of the box, doing something no one else does. I think that is what he, you know, something that is like unique. You know, we have to learn to do things that are unique. And I think Most of the things that you are doing in the multimedia sector is because they are unique, because I can see that, the things that you do, no one else does it. So thank you so much, Babukar, for coming or for passing through. I am exceedingly glad to have you again, and I think we are going to have you many times. Pa, do you want to say your last words?
I want to thank him once again and recognize what they are doing, and he is very right. I like the fact that, for example, even they just got this new camera, that they know very well that the need is not there in Gambia for now, but they're thinking outside of the box. This is what we lack. And you are an example of Limawane, Gambian is that they tell us, we limit ourselves to one level and we get comfortable and we never want to go past that. And even our government thinks like this. Nonu la gaay de helate dañu nek ci ben level di def dara rek lolu la every year they just modify the same template, modify, adjust correct, and it should go beyond that. We should be able to think outside of the box and be able to innovate, create, and do new things, especially with technology. And this is what is happening around the world. You see somebody doing business, they want to stay at the same level. I mean, so the necessary institutions here, papers in new first step. That is why when the Ministry of Fisheries burned down the last time, we have everything. That is why when the Kotu police station or anti-crime unit was burned down the last time, we have everything because we don't want to digitize or move according to times. So I want to recognize the Manka brothers for being visitors, and Babukar no doubt has taught us a lot of things. Mbor mi nga xamne mu ngi Sénégal nek fa ñu tok rek xalé bu daw 17 years old wax na ko last time genn ci rek jël domital def ko ci yaramam bi yépp yaayam ne ko lu xew mu ne waaw diw sanga moy sama mbor te mom la gis muy def li, right? When kids or people watching you hear you say something, they believe in it. So it's good that you bring things out and say it in perspective so that people know that there is a limitation, there are boundaries, and you need to be able to balance it out. And that they am overall a responsibility to protect society. And that as a businessman, as Babukar said, finally, as a businessman, you can wear your business cap and do things to survive or to pay your bills. Why am responsibility to society? The linga def is not in the interest of society that has security threats, health threats, safety threats, and concerns. You need to be able to not carry that out. Whether in the videography or any other type of business, it is important that we make that clear so that we can understand what doing feel businessman, you're not pay, kula pay, lumla pay, punga defo, def. And it doesn't matter how harmful it is to society. Thank you very much, Babukar. Thank you, Kalilu. But thank you very much.
Surah, thank you so much. Surah was not with us, and it was important to get you so that we can have that interactive, because this is just like a family talk. We want to ensure that, the people out there learn from what we are talking about. And then having a great personality like Babukar, I think, our viewers have learned a lot. And then a lot of people are sharing their comments. And then, it was important that we read them out. And, we want to say that we need this conversation in the creative sector of the Gambia, because that is the only way we can be able to come up with solutions that is impeding us. And, it's always beautiful that we have divergent views until we can come up with, answers to some of the problems that or questions that are uncovered. And it's important to have great people like you all the time, especially, giving us this platform to be able to express ourselves and to be able to talk to the people out there and to create this dialogue within the sector. So thank you so much. And thank you, Babukar, also. And also we want to tell our esteemed viewers that, we thank them so much for joining us tonight. Until you come our way next week, I am your host, Kalilu Banja. Thank you so much and good night.
ka kodo mutaka bonang UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland ani nyimbanku to mal mu meto. Supersonics le itadulate. Anada di masanji jama Gambia bankoka ise kodo tanole ibe dawo da birin katon fokoina andum batatije. Hade batatije ise kodo tanole ka bonam bantala bankol to birin UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland ani nyimbanku to mal mu beto na doku sone yata atariyata akoita andung allan yata. Gambia bankoka Supersonics le dinkiral siyata katambinyin to mal mu meti. Supersonics be banku tan sabani nani le to fota findu bankolto dung ila Google Play Store to wala ila Apple app sign ye Supersonics la money transfer app o download pour que ifa munafang na service la.
Turn by turn, everything in life is turn by turn. Brother man, relax and wait for your turn. Everything in life is done by God. Yeah. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jizzle on this. You're now watching Gambian Talents TV. I'm representing all day, every day. Don't move. Keep it.
Take it from a kid. Mimfama hanifen tuaja. I'm getting it all is so man. Muka hanifen tualeja. Albany lab. Ya duale jam sejabur jam. Ndulka bi freedom of space te buale jam. Dual bela dua du bual be bua. Allah bolan esti Gambian dream brikama boyo. Ndulka na buale ki. It's all about Gambian Talent TV. Tune in direct, ala jibe, stay tuned, mimbe kiring Gambia, Banja, Gambia. Luo!
Ala kanole, dun sana nyinyola, koni ala dalo dun sana, Gambian Talents, ala kano, yenyala mandia, apachaki, ala boilo nyancho, Jollof Arts. La ilaha illallah, Gambia. Gambian Talent ala barika la ilaha illallah Gambian Talent ala barika Gambia man la jali madi yena nge setan Gambian Talent TV amen bulen ko raté fi la affaire di nexé fi la affaire di jamba joy ina be gëna xam jërëjëf. And if you want to be ni alla mo casino
Showbiz in Focuz with Kalilu Banja every Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m.
You want to know about the Gambia entertainment industry? You want to know the existing policies and programs of the arts and culture sector. You want to know about the governance and management of the arts associations. The program will